What's up everyone, how are you all? Today we are back with another amazing Naruto story. What if Naruto forced to return to Konoha by Kushina? If you enjoy then please like, share and do comments. And also check the description box to original creator of this beautiful creation. Minato and Kushina were in the Forest of Judgment. It was an ancient practice of Uzumakis to spend 2 years in the Forest of Judgment before taking the throne of their clan. It was believed that only those who are worthy to be leaders can return alive from the forest. It was believed to be the test of God himself. Many had failed to return back. It was their last week in the forest, they were happy. Not about the fact that it's their last week in the forest but that Kushina had just given birth to 3 little triplet babies. Naruto, Menma and Narumi. All 3 of them wore same clothes and had a small wooden wristband on which they had their names carved. Look how cute they are, Kushina, they are like dolls. Minato's face clearly showed his happiness with a joy of terror trailing down his eyes. I am happy that they inherited your hair color, Minato. When they will grow they will look just like you, said Kushina as she caressed her children who were lying close to her seeking for warmth. Come to your father, my little dolls. Minato put hands towards them to carry them in his arms, but Menma and Narumi denied the offer as they crawled closer to Kushina. Minato pouted at the reaction, to which Kushina gave a small laugh, but soon she was interrupted by Naruto, who was waving both of his hands towards Minato, calling his father to pick him up. Yes son, come to your father, you are the only one who cares about me unlike your siblings. Minato then picked up Naruto in his arms and started to swing him softly, to which Naruto started to chuckle. Looks like he really likes his father, said Kushina, to which Minato replied with a wide smile. I can't wait to see Sensei's reaction after he sees his grandchildren. It's been 2 years since we have talked with anyone. We can't even use chakra in this forest to summon messenger toads. Surviving in this forest totally on physical skills is no joke. Minato and Kushina had built a hut at the ledge of the land below which flowed a large river. Because it was the only area secluded from the flora and fauna of the forest, they had no choice but to stay there at night. On one unlucky day the weather was not good. Huge winds blew which shaken the poor hut made up of woods and leaves. Weather is getting worse and worse. Minato and Kushina held themselves and their kids tight. Suddenly the winds stopped and the platform of their hut started to disintegrate. Take the kids and run out of the house, Kushina, screamed Minato. Without a second thought, Kushina took Menma and Narumi and started to run out of the hut while Minato carried Naruto. As soon as he was about to step out of the hut, the land below him crippled and Naruto slipped out of his hand. Naruto! Screamed Minato as he saw his child slowly falling into the river. Minato and Kushina were helpless. The river was too unstable due to storm and they also had 2 baby kids with them. Naruto landed on a huge leaf that was floating on the river which carried him along with river currents. Kushina was so sad at the scene. His son right in front of her eyes was disappearing in vast expanse of the river. She cried like no tomorrow that day. How did I let him slip out of my hands? Someone please help, yelled Minato as he landed on his knees and started crying. Never did they thought that they would witness such a day, to lose their child and unable to anything about it. They thought it was impossible for Naruto to survive such monstrous form of river. Even though they didn't wanted to, they believed that Naruto's death was inevitable. They decided to keep death of their 3rd son as secret, to never say that they had a 3rd son. While Naruto was floating on the river he never drowned. It was like the leaf on which he was floating was there just for his aid. Like fate didn't want Naruto to die. Even in such disastrous weather Naruto remained unharmed, like something supernatural was protecting him. The tragic day came to an end. Minato and Kushina returned to the village with Menma and Narumi. No one in the village knew about Naruto's death except Jiraiya. They mourned for days but lastly accepted it as God's wish and took care of Menma and Narumi. Present time. In Hyuga house. To-san, Hanabi. Neji ni-san, the dinner is ready. A loud call from Hinata echoed in the house as everyone gathered at the dining table. The dine continued in silence for a few minutes before Hanabi put an end to it. You know Oni-sama, today I had my first practice session with Neji ni-san and he was so amazing that I could barely even hit him. Ni-san is no doubt one of the best in taijutsu. In practice sessions he shows no mercy, said Hinata. Once you are trained enough I will let you have a friendly fight with Lee and Menma, they both are as good as me. We 3 used to always train together, you know? Neji was proud to mention his friends with whom he had trained since childhood. They challenged each other every now and then to see who is better, through which they developed finally. Yeah, I know those days. The one to lose would treat everyone right. You know, Hanabi, every other day Ni-san would come to Tu-san to ask for money so that he could give treat. You should have seen his face those times, laughed Hinata, and Hanabi, leaving a red like tomato, Neji eating in embarrassment. Hiyashi on other hand was listening to the conversation closely before he cleared his throat to get their attention. Hinata, are you ready for tomorrow's proposal? The question silenced the room as Hanabi and Neji now looked at Hinata. I can't just marry an unknown person, Tu-san. He is the next heir of Fumo clan from borders of the Land of Fire. He is kind, good-looking and powerful too, perfectly suitable for you. I am not forcing you to accept it, after all I have promised your mother to wed you with the one you choose. But you have already rejected 4 proposals before and this is the 5th one. Find a good partner for you before it's too late, Hinata. Hinata paid little attention to her father's words as she had listened to this same speech over 100 times. So she decided to give the same reply for the 100th time. If he lifts up the sword, then I will accept it, Tu-san. Now I will go for a walk. I will be back soon. Hinata got up from her seat as she drank the water and started walking towards the exit. Ah, there she goes. She knows it very well that no one can lift that 100 kilograms sword. This is her way of rejecting the proposals. Hiyashi let out a deep sigh as he smiled at Hinata's antics. Somewhere at the borders of the village. It's really cold today since the winter has started. Good that I carried this sweater along with me. Hinata was casually walking near the borders as she rubbed her hands against each other. Just as she walked further, she caught a glimpse of someone at the corner of her eye. When she turned to look at it, she met an unknown tall figure walking from woods. It was so dark that she could barely figure out who was it, but she could feel that the person is in weak condition. She could figure it out by the way the person was walking towards her. He is stumbling while he is walking. And he is using that stick-like thing to support himself. Who it could be? I need to help him. Without wasting any more time, she rushed towards the person. I have been walking on empty stomach for days now. Straight. And straight in this never-ending forest. The feeling of giving up is slowly engulfing me, thought Naruto. Soon his eyes met the series of streetlights that were located at some considerable distance from him. Hopes in his eyes returned back. Maybe there is a village up ahead. I just have to walk few more miles. Come on, Naruto, just few steps more. Naruto picked up the pace and tried to walk as fast as he could with his shivering body. Soon he heard some faint footsteps at his right. Naruto's eyes were dizzy. His fatigue was wearing him out, so he ignored to look around him and walked straight towards the light. But then a call took his attention. Hello, mister? Hello? The voice was getting louder and louder as if someone was approaching him, but before he could turn to look who it was, his body gave up as he fell on the ground. And no. I can't sleep here. If I sleep, I don't think I will ever be able to open my eyes again. I can't sleep. I can't afford to sleep. Someone please help me. Right after murmuring this, Naruto reluctantly closed his eyes. When Hinata saw Naruto drop on the ground, she got scared. As soon as she reached Naruto, her eyes widened by the condition he was in. Shivering arms and legs, stomach growling, thin clothes which could barely provide any warmth, and a sword. Wait, a sword? Hinata was confused by this. Why would a person who is barely able to walk by himself carry a sword? Hinata tried to pick up the sword but failed miserably. It's heavy. I have to wake him up. Hello? Hello, mister, please wake up? Hinata slowly shook him, but Naruto didn't seem to open his eyes. Letting a deep sigh escape through her mouth, she decided to go for the last resort. She activated her Byakugan and tapped on Naruto's forehead, causing him to flinch. There, I guess it worked. Hinata then waited for Naruto to wake up. Hey, are you okay? Please say something, don't scare me like that. You should not lie on the ground like this. You were lucky that I was nearby, but what if? Hinata couldn't speak any further as Naruto fully opened his eyes. Deep blue eyes with hint of orange around it in this dark surrounding made it look like some kind of jewel. Hinata was slowly drowning in the beauty of his eyes, losing herself in its eternal bliss. How can someone's eyes be so beautiful? Was all Hinata wondering about. On other hand, Naruto was just lying on the ground with his eyes open. It took him a little time to completely come back to his senses. Beautiful. A word escaped from Hinata's mouth, but when she realized what she said her face got red all over as she covered her mouth. Did he hear that? I am such a fool. Without wasting any time, Naruto tried to get up on his legs but stumbled again. Who are you? And where are you going? Asked Hinata. I am Naruto. I haven't eaten anything since more than a week. I was looking for someplace to eat and stay probably, replied Naruto. Oh, I am Hinata Hyuga. I am from this village, so I can guide you to a place. Well, by this hour we can go to only one place. Hinata noticed the satisfied look Naruto gave to her. I have a small favor to ask. Naruto bowed down to Hinata, which shocked her. You see, I have no money with me. Will you please? Hinata understood what Naruto was trying to say as she replied with a smile, don't worry about it. It will be on me. Thank you very much, Hinata-san. I will pay your every penny back as soon as possible, said Naruto. No need of it. Now let's go before the shop closes. Just when Naruto walked ahead, he started to stumble in his track. If you don't mind, you can rest one arm on my shoulder, because if you walk like that it will take us forever to reach, suggested Hinata. Well, if you don't mind. Naruto then supported one of his arm on her shoulder and both of them started to walk to their destination. At Ichiraku ramen shop, the walk till here was a rather silent one. Whereas on one hand Naruto was nervous to start a topic with her, on other hand Hinata was worried why Naruto was so silent. Here we are, exclaimed Hinata. This is the best place to eat ramen. You will sure like it. Ichiraku ramen, huh? I don't care if it's good or not. For now I just want something to go in my stomach. Soon both of them entered the shop to be greeted by Tucci and his daughter Ayame. Oh, Hinata-sama, welcome. We were just about to close, said Tucci while he was cleaning the desk. Soon Hinata and Naruto sat on their respective chair. Naruto noticed how the shop owner addressed Hinata as Hinata-sama. Hinata-san? Called Naruto as she looked at him. Are you by any means a princess or something? Hinata's face turned red after she heard the question. Thoughts started to pop up in her mind. He thinks I am a princess. Well, I am a princess, but what makes him think I am a princess? Is this some kind of compliment or is this? Naruto was confused as his question was left unanswered. Hinata-san, are you a princess? Naruto repeated himself. What makes you think like that? Hinata's old habit of stuttering suddenly kicked in. I mean, shop owner called you as Sama, so I thought. Oh, is that so? Hinata ignored the question. And here I was thinking like a fool. Hinata-sama, who is this boy with you? Is he some outsider? Asked Ayame. He is Naruto. When I was taking a walk I found him lying on the ground in terrible condition. He has not eaten for a week and he also doesn't have any money, so I am helping him. Please cook something fast and tasty, replied Hinata. Don't worry, we were just closing, so it is on the house. Well, mister, have you ever tried ramen? Asked Tucci, to which Naruto shook his head in disagreement. Well, then you are lucky to have my ramen as the first one. Just wait for few minutes. So Naruto, from where are you? I mean, which village? And what's with that sword? Ayame bombarded Naruto with questions. I am not from any village. I have always lived in woods, hunting animals for food, eating fruits and vegetables, using tree houses to stay, river to bath. This how I used to live past 6 years, before the Forest Act was passed last month. Hunting and using flora and fauna of forest got restricted at almost every place. It got impossible to fulfill my basic needs. At every few miles there were watchmen to look over the forest. So I thought to settle in any of the village nearby and came here. This sword, I use it for protection purpose, that's it. Everyone was listening to Naruto's story with keen ears. It must have been hard for you. The land is slowly losing its soil fertility. Growing vegetables and fruits have become difficult. Slowly the forest area is also decreasing. So the cages of all the 5 nations collectively decided to pass this act. Said Hinata. Cage? Naruto was unaware by the term. Top most respected and powerful position in the nation is given to a worthy person who is capable of protecting his nation and village. Like in our village Konoha, we have Minato-sama as Hokage, explained Hinata. Here is your miso char shao ramen. Please tell me, how is it? Tucci proudly served his special ramen dish with an expected answer. The sight of such an amazing-looking dish and such delicious aroma was driving Naruto crazy. Without wasting any moment, he started to dig in like no tomorrow. Few 10 minutes passed and Naruto had completely finished 11 bowls of ramen. All three of them were looking at him with wide eyes and open mouth as he finished his 12th bowl now. BRRP, this the best food I have had in my life, Tucci-san. Naruto finally felt normal now. All his weakness was gone, though he was still shivering because of the cold. Good that the order was on the house, laughed Hinata as she counted the piled up bowls. You said you lived in forests for last 6 years, right? So what you did before that? Asked Hinata. I don't know if you all will believe or not, but I don't remember anything before that. It's like I have existed for 19 years but lived only 6 years. One day I woke up to find that I remember nothing but my name. Hinata-sama, I think you should go home now. You have an important day tomorrow, said Tucci. Not a big deal, Tucci-san. It's not like I am bothered about it. Naruto was confused by the sudden change in topic. Is there something important, Hinata-san? Tomorrow a prince from Fumo clan is coming to propose Hinata for wedding. Just to let you know, Naruto. Hinata is the princess of Hyuga clan, one of the most powerful clan in the world, said Ayame in a sly voice as she looked at Naruto's change in expression. He suddenly got up from his seat and bowed down to Hinata. I am really sorry, Hinata-sama, to cause so much trouble. For such a small existence like me to put a hand on your shoulders, ask you to show me the place, to think I troubled you before your proposal day. Naruto kept on blabbering before Hinata stopped him. Calm down. And stop calling me Hinata-sama. You said you are 19, right? So we are of same age. Now that we have exchanged our names, talk to each other, we two are friends. So call me Hinata. I hope you don't mind if I call you Naruto. Of course. Hinata. To think my first friend is a princess herself. Naruto gave Hinata one of his best smiles, to which she blushed furiously. I have to go home now. CYUL later. Naruto. With this, Hinata left the place and ran off to her home. I will have to find a job so that I can settle down in this village. Naruto's murmurs were heard by Tucci, who was closing up his shop. You see, Naruto, nowadays our shop is visited by many customers, so it becomes hard for me and Ayame to handle it. Also, tomorrow we have to deliver a large order to Hyuga house. So what I am saying is, you can work in my shop and I will pay you monthly salary. How about that? Naruto was overjoyed. He was really worried about his job, but to find it so quickly was not expected by him. Thank you very much, Tucci-san. It will be my pleasure to work in your shop. For few days you can stay at my house. Remember, tomorrow we have an important day, so wake up quickly. Soon the group started to walk towards their home. Hidden Leaf. I wonder how my life would be from tomorrow onwards. It was an early morning for Naruto. His beginning of new life in Konoha. Right now Naruto was being lumped by dozens of food boxes by Tucci, which he had to deliver at Hyuga's. It's 24 in total. Deliver them and come back fast, there is one more set left, said Tucci as he handed him the 24th box. Having Naruto took a huge load off of Tucci. The guy was carrying 24 food boxes, which the old man or his daughter couldn't even think of carrying. I will be right back. With this, Naruto left to his destination. In Hyuga's, the house was beautifully decorated today. Traditional Japanese decor with disciplined, peaceful environment was adding more beauty to the interior. Whereas on one side there was a silent and peaceful atmosphere accompanied by arrangements made by Hiyashi and other elders in the clan. On other hand, there was beautifully dressed Hinata, who was trying to escape from her sister's interrogation. You should have at least asked him to stay in our home, Nei-san. That way you could have got more opportunity to ask him out. It was the 100th time that Hanabi was saying this. Hinata's only mistake was that she told Hanabi about yesterday's event. Well, more importantly, how beautiful Naruto's eyes were. Come on, Oni-sama. You know how many years I have waited to have a girl talk with you. Now that you finally have an interest in someone. Hanabi's comment plastered a blush on Hinata's face, but with an flustered look she denied it. Like I said, there is nothing like that. And you should not speak something like that today, it will give people wrong interpretation. I wanted to meet him at least. You didn't even ask him where he will be living now. All you know is his name is Narumo, said Hanabi. It's Naruto, Hinata quickly corrected her. Who is Naruto? A familiar voice came from back of their head as they turned behind to see Sakura, Ino, Sasuke and Kiba. You all, when did you all come? Asked Hinata. We were here for last 5 minutes hearing your talks, said Ino as all 4 of them made their way in her room. For last 5 minutes, how much did you hear? Hinata was now wearing one of her most embarrassed expression. We heard everything, Hinata. Everything, laughed Ino and Sakura in unison. Foolish little sister. This is what happens when you talk such things so loud. Hinata cracked her knuckles, which she directed at Hanabi. Hey, chill, Hinata, weren't you going to tell your close friends about it? Were you really going to hide it from your team member? Pouted Kiba. So who is this Naruto? Asked Sasuke. Yesterday I went for a night walk and I found him lying on the ground in very bad condition. Then he said he hadn't eaten anything for a week and had no money, so he went to eat ramen. That was too quick of a summary. Before Sasuke could speak further, he was interrupted by the girls. So you guys already went for date? Asked Sakura and Ino in unison. I said he hadn't eaten anything, so I just helped him. Hinata explained each and every words to them again. After a walk of 10 minutes, Naruto finally reached his destination. As he looked at the massive house of Hyuga, his eyes went wide in amazement. Just how many people live inside this house? Without taking any moment, he knocked on the door. I wonder what kind of jutsus Hyugas have. If they are such a reputed clan, then they must. Naruto's train of thoughts were interrupted as his knock was answered. As soon as the door opened, Naruto was filled with mixture of shock and confusion. A girl with a light orange kimono with butterfly pattern on it was standing in front of him. The part which shocked him was her eyes. They looked exactly same as Hinata. I am from Ichiraku's. I am here to deliver today's order, said Naruto. Give it to me, said Hanabi as she put forward her hand. Naruto of course can't just simply put 2 dozens of boxes in some kid's hands, so he tried his best to deny it. Are you sure, kid? I mean, there are 24 of them. To whom are you calling kid? I might be just a few years younger than you, and wait, are you saying that I am weak to carry them? I am Hanabi Hyuga. Naruto was now trapped in blabbering of some kid's talk now. He very well knew that he has to return back to get the other set of boxes, so to not waste any more of his time, he handed those boxes to Hanabi. As soon as Hanabi caught them, her hands stretched down with the weight. She tried her hard to take a step ahead but lost her balance. Seeing the situation, Naruto quickly grabbed the boxes as Hanabi fell on her butt. Hey, you are so mean. Are those boxes more important to you than me getting hurt? Whined Hanabi. Well, of course, said Naruto as he quickly stepped inside the home and started to walk at some random direction. Soon Hanabi caught up to him and asked, where are you going? To find some people who can actually carry these food boxes. Unlike some kid who says I am Hanabi Hyuga, I am not weak, how dare you. Listening to Naruto's teasing, Hanabi's face got painted with red, to which Naruto started to laugh. Soon she noticed Naruto's eyes that were hiding under his shop cap. Whoa mister, you have such beautiful blue eyes, why are you hiding them under the cap? Asked Hanabi. I am not hiding them. This cap is my owner's and its visor is just too big. Soon their talk was interrupted by a Hyuga. Naruto and the Hyuga talked for some time and then Naruto handed him the boxes. I need to go fast, I have more of them to deliver. Naruto was about to take a step ahead, but then he stopped in his track. What happened? Asked Hanabi. Well, can you show me the way to exit? This house is so big I forgot from where I came. Fine, come with me, said Hanabi as both of them started to walk back to the gates. Soon both of them reached the gates. I will be back. Just last 24 left. Naruto then quickly put on his shoes and opened the gate, but as soon as he took a step outside he collided with a lady. Shiin-san. Hanabi screamed as she saw Shiin fell on the ground. Oops. I am really sorry, I was not looking forward, actually it is my fault. Are you okay, Miss White Dress? Naruto was really worried, not only because he just pushed a girl hard on the ground but that the girl he collided with really looked important. He could guess that just by the outfit she had. Ouch. That hurts. As Shiin lifted her head to look at the person responsible for this, her mouth froze. Froze by the look of a blonde boy who was wearing a cook dress with Ichiraku written on it. But just like any other person, she was taken off by the eyes of Naruto. His blue eyes under the dazzling sunlight looked like pearls. Without Shiin realizing, she was gawking at Naruto without even blinking. Hello? Hello, are you fine? As Naruto's calls were being ignored by Shiin, who was herself lost in Naruto's features. On other hand, Naruto was getting more and more anxious. Hanabi, will you tell me who is she? Asked Naruto. She is Shiin from Fumo clan. The twin sister of the person who is coming today to propose, Hinata ne-sama. I am surprised, why has she arrived so early, that too alone? What, does that make her princess of Fumo clan? Nice job Naruto, on your first day you caused trouble to a princess who had an important day coming up and then the very next day you push another princess down on the ground, thought Naruto as he looked at Shien who was still looking at him. I am sorry miss I was in hurry, said Naruto as he put forward his hand to help Shien. No don't worry I am fine. I should have been more careful, Shien then gently took Naruto's hand as she helped herself to get up on her legs. Hanabi noticed a pinkish shade over Shien's cheeks but she decided to ignore it. I am really sorry causing you trouble but I had to go back to the shop to collect the food boxes, said Naruto as he started to walk but was stopped by Shien. What? What is your name? It's Naruto. Naruto. That's a nice name, said Shien. Naruto. Hanabi let out a surprised scream which shocked both of them. You're the Naruto? That boy who was found yesterday, is it you? Hanabi rushed towards him and looked straight in his eyes. Yes it has to be you. You should have told me before, she said. If I don't leave soon then Tuchi-san will kill me, thought Naruto as he ignored both of them and started to walk. If you don't mind may I come with you? I mean my brother and clan members are yet to come so I was thinking that you could accompany me. Shien requested twiddling her fingers against each other. Fine, before Naruto could speak further Shien grabbed his hands and said, let's go then. Hanabi on other hand was getting irritated at the scene. She didn't give a damn before but now that she knows that the person here was Naruto she was getting bothered. This girl, just now she got acquainted with him and look at her, clinging herself at him. No this boy is Ne-sama's I can't allow this girl to take him, thought Hanabi with an angry look. Soon her angry look turned into cheeky smile as she walked up to Naruto and caught his other hand. Even I was getting bored sitting in the home. So even I will come with you. Let's go. After 10 minutes. In Hyuga's. The Hyuga clan house was a huge one. It had a huge training ground outside wherein they would frequently practice. Right now the ground was decorated and occupied by number of guests that had just arrived from Fumo clan. Currently the huge space was being used for the program. Hinata was standing beside her father and friends in front of the audience that were supposed to attend the event. The sword that was supposed to be lifted by the prince was placed in the middle of the group while the prince was having a close look at it. He was already intimidated by the look of the sword but he maintained his composure. In the number of faces which included people of Hyuga and Fumo clan Hinata was searching for her sister who seemed to be found nowhere. Hey have you seen Hanabi anywhere? Hinata whispered to her friends as they shook their head. Hinata just how many people are invited today? I mean they look more than previous times, said Kiba. Yeah, Tu-san told me that this time guests will be more. Well one more thing. I heard that the prince has a twin sister. Where is she? Wondered Hinata as she looked around. This is really ridiculous. Instead of saying a straight no to the proposal you invite them here and treat them. Just how rich are Hyugas? Hiyashi was able to listen Kiba's talks as he decided to interrupt him. This is a delicate matter between ancient clans like us. We can't simply say no to them. This is an important practice. Also by doing this we get acquainted to each other and deepen the relation between us. How can harassing a clan heir to lift this heavy-ass sword and then reject the proposal because that's what going to happen actually deepen a relation, thought Ino as she smiled at her thought. Also, stop speaking so loud Kiba, said Hiyashi as he directed a glare at him. I think we should start Hiyashi-sama. I don't know where my sister is and when will she come, said the prince of the Fumo clan. You want to start it without your sister? Is that really fine? Hiyashi asked to confirm it. Yeah it's fine Hiyashi-sama. Before accepting the proposal of yours you have to prove yourself worthy, said Hiyashi in front of everyone. This surprised the Fumo clan but the members of Hyuga clan had a here we go aga in face. What is the task Hiyashi-sama? I will do anything to marry your daughter, asked the prince. There has been an ancient practice that we have been following for marriage of a female heir of Hyuga. This sword that is kept here. Only one who can lift this with their physical strength can marry my daughter. Hiyashi felt guilty as he spoke further and further. There was no such practice in Hyuga. This whole thing was set by Hinata for purpose of rejecting proposals. So then, we should start this. After 10 minutes, the event went just as planned. The prince of Fumo clan was unable to even move the sword hence the proposal was declined. Though the proposal was declined the decision was mutually accepted by the Fumo clan. They thought they couldn't do much about a traditional practice and instead got closely acquainted with Hyugas. The guests were about to leave but were stopped by Hiyashi, who insisted them to have lunch at them as symbol of their hospitality. Why is the delivery so late? The first 24 lunchboxes were delivered in time, so why are the remaining so late? Murmured Neji. There must be a reason, Neji. Don't worry, Kiba tried to calm down Neji. But the guests are waiting. Neji always behaved as Hyuga clan's face. Being the strongest Hyuga, he was deeply respected by everyone. He never did or allowed someone to taint his clan's reputation. Soon a Hyuga came towards Neji and whispered in his ears, "So he has come, huh? Pretty late though." "Never mind, tell him that he will have the lunch with us. We can't let anyone go out with an empty stomach." Right after Neji finished speaking, the Hyuga walked back to his way. Hinata was having a casual chat with Sakura, Ino, Sasuke and Kiba when she noticed Hanabi walking towards them. "Hanabi. Where were you? I have been looking for you the whole time." Everyone looked at Hanabi with same question in their looks. "You should thank me, you know. I was just taking care of a potential threat to your future." No one there was able to understand what she was saying. Looking at their faces, Hanabi made herself clear this time. The person who delivered the food today was none other than Naruto. Naruto's mention took everyone's attention as now they were listening to Hanabi with keen ears. This girl Shion, princess of Fumo clan. She accidentally got acquainted with Naruto and then asked him if he could walk with him to his shop, and when he said yes, she started clinging close to him. Looking at the situation, I can't leave Naruto alone with her, so I decided to walk with him too. Hanabi proudly explained the events that took place to the group. No wonder why he got late. Sasuke was immediately interrupted by Ino. "That's my girl Hanabi, you did a great job." Ino praised Hanabi as she patted her head. "You really saved your sister, Hanabi. I wish even I had a brother who could fix my relation with someone," said Sakura as she stole a glance at Sasuke. Wait, what are you all speaking?" Hinata spoke up with a flustered look and a blush evident on her face. "So where is Naruto?" asked Hinata. "He is there. You can see that crowd of girls," said Hanabi as she pointed a finger at the direction. Everyone looked at the lone male Naruto, who was surrounded by a number of girls around him. "Ino, we should get him out of there. This is for our friend Hinata," said Sakura as she and Ino started to walk towards the crowd, just to be stopped by Sasuke. "Wait, both you. As a person who is a frequent victim of such things, I understand his sufferings. Let me go and rescue him," said Sasuke and walked towards Naruto. "Moreover, if these two girls go, they will cause more problems to him." "Oh my god, your eyes are so beautiful. Even those whiskers look so cute on you. You have a great muscular build even though you are just a cook. Shion-san, won't you introduce your new friend to us?" The girls around Naruto bombarded him with compliments and questions. "I purposely chose the corner of the room to avoid attention, but how did I end up in such situation?" thought Naruto as he looked around him just to see his vision blocked by girls. "He is my friend Naruto and he is a cook at a ramen shop." "Naruto, these are my friends, we are from the same clan." Shion introduced her friends to Naruto. Hi, Naruto forced a smile as he waved his hands. "I thought I would meet Hinata and her friends today. Someone please help me from this." Just when Naruto thought about this, he saw the girls around him slowly moving away from each other. Soon he saw a raven-haired shinobi walking towards him. "It's Sasuke-kun." Naruto noticed how girls were now sticking close to him. He somewhat felt relieved, but he could feel the same look in this person's eyes that he had. Looking at the situation, he understood that this shinobi has been suffering the same as him. They both shared a look in each other's eyes, and it didn't took them even a moment to read each other. Both of them gave each other the same message through their eyes. "Let's get out of here." "Yo, Naruto." Sasuke walked to him waving his hands. "Oh hi," Naruto replied with same emotions. "Naruto, the Hokage has called both of us in his office." "Maybe there is a mission," said Sasuke. "But why would Hokage-sama call a cook for a mission?" This question of Shion took Sasuke off guard. He had a stoic expression, but mentally he cursed himself. "Oh no, how did I forgot that he is a cook? There must be some work for Hokage-sama to call me. I think we should go fast," Naruto quickly replied as he put his arm around Sasuke's shoulders. "Wait, aren't you going to eat anything?" asked Shion. "No, don't worry, I am not hungry," said Naruto, but his stomach denied it as it started growling, causing him to sweat drop. "What the fuck, bro?" Sasuke mumbled softly, audible enough only to Naruto. Don't blame me, I haven't eaten anything since morning, Naruto whispered in Sasuke's ears. Let's go, we can't let Hokage-sama wait much long for us. Right after saying this, Sasuke and Naruto started to walk to the exit, leaving a sad group of girls. Gradually, as they walked, their movement speed increased and ultimately they started to run. Sakura, Ino, Hinata and Kiba were looking at both of them from distance as they started to laugh at their antics. On the other hand, there was a confused Neji who was wondering what just happened to Sasuke. Nighttime. At Ichiraku ramen shop. Laughs, I can't believe it, it's so hilarious. You both ran out of there because of some girls. After a heavy day, Neji finally had a heartful laugh at Sasuke and Naruto. Sasuke, Ino, Sakura, Neji, Kiba and Naruto were having their dinner at Ichiraku's together. The idea of dinner was decided by Sakura so that everyone could get acquainted with Naruto. They had a long chat with Naruto wherein Naruto explained them how he entered the village and how he was helped by Hinata. Naruto was warmly welcomed by everyone and accepted in the group as one of them. I didn't know that they both would actually start running. Just thinking of that scene makes me laugh, said Ino, leaving embarrassed Sasuke and Naruto. It was this guy who started running first. It was a surprise to me, Sasuke defended himself. You know what was a bigger surprise to me? To know that everyone in this group is an heir of a clan. I mean, I feel so out of place here, said Naruto as he washed the dishes in the shop. Don't worry, none of us in the group actually act like that. We all behave like normal teens. Especially you should meet Menma and Narumi. They both are son of Hokage, still you should see how they behave, said Sakura. Oh my god, so we have Hokage's children in this group too. Well, whatever, finish it fast, we are about to close the shop. Naruto soon finished his work and sat next to Sasuke. Talking about Menma, is his mother doing well? Asked Neji. Haven't heard from him for a while. I think we should go and meet her, suggested Sakura, to which everyone nodded in agreement. Soon the group was disturbed by a faint commotion coming from the gates of the village. Security unit, huh? I guess they are reinstalling village barriers, murmured Sasuke. The peace brought after the Third Great Shinobi War is being destroyed by few people. It's so unacceptable. The frustration on Kiba's face as he said those words was shared by everyone in the group. Naruto was sitting with a confused face as he tried to figure out what the conversation was about. He was curious to know, but he decided not to interfere in their personal matters. Sasuke noticed the confused face of Naruto, which asked the questions on their conversation. Naruto, you are lucky, you know. You were able to enter the village because there were no barriers yesterday. No one outside of the Konoha can enter the village when these barriers are installed. One day late and you might have been locked in the prison for infiltrating the village. As Sasuke cleared his one question, Naruto had more and more questions popping in his mind. Why are barriers needed though? This time it was Neji who answered his question. Sigh, there is a lot happening last few years, Naruto. Everything seems to be nice and peaceful, but only we shinobis know the tension inside. Now that you are one of us, I shall explain you about everything from the start. The air around the group was no longer a chilling one, it was dense. Neji's humorous tone he had earlier turned into a deep one, which indicated Naruto just how important the topic was. It all started 10 years ago, Naruto. Out of nowhere we heard the news that Kage of Iwagakure, Onoki-sama, has died. It was a shocker for every nation. The reason of death was said to be heart attack. After his death he was replaced by other Kage. What surprised us was it was not his granddaughter who replaced him but someone from their Anbu. Then after a year, Kage of Kumogakure suddenly went into a coma. Same thing happened there and he was replaced by Kumogakure's Anbu head. Same sequence of events were followed in Sanagakure, wherein Gaara, the Kage of Sanagakure, was replaced by their Anbu head. Now as the situation stands, it's only our village which has a true Kage. All the villages have the substitute Kage. Everything Neji said was totally new for Naruto. He didn't know what all has been happening in outside world. Naruto, do you know what are tailed beasts? Asked Kiba. Naruto's muddled face was enough for him to understand, so he began explaining him. Just by the name you can understand that they are beast creatures who have tails. So, there are 9 tailed beasts in total, which are 1 tails, 2 tails, 3 tails, and it goes up to 9 tails. More the tails, more the chakra they have. These tailed beasts are considered to be the first beings on the earth, though there is no evidence to prove it. Some say that they were split from a single mass of chakra, while some say that they were the progenitor of chakra. Due to their immense power, they are worshipped as guardians of the world. Even among these tailed beasts, the nine tails is horrifyingly strong. It alone has the chakra equal to total of all other tailed beasts' chakra. No one has ever seen him. Naruto felt a familiar ring in the name, Nine Tails. It felt like he knows that name for years, yet he can't remember it. Nine Tails. It's not Nine Tails, Naruto, how many times do I have to tell you? It's Kura. Blurred memories started to flash in his mind. Seeing Naruto spacing out, Kiba snapped his fingers and brought him to reality. "You there?" he asked. "Why, yeah, I am alright. Please go on," Naruto stuttered in his words as he was shocked by the sudden frame of memory he had right now. So few years ago, maybe 6 to 7 years ago, these tailed beasts suddenly disappeared. Every tailed beasts had a fixed habitat, but none of them were found there. When the Anbu Black Ops teams were sent to investigate these places, they found scrolls there. Every habitat had a scroll, and inside these scrolls was the chakra of tailed beasts. "So the tailed beasts turned into scrolls?" asked Naruto. "Nah, more like tailed beasts put their chakra in the scrolls and vanished. And the one responsible for this is Akatsuki," as Kiba said that name. Naruto noticed how the faces of his friends suddenly change. Expression which displayed a great deal of anger and revenge. "It's too late, we should go and visit Kushina-san. We can talk about this later." Sasuke really didn't want to hear that name again. That damn name. The Akatsuki. "Wait, Sasuke. We can't stop in midway, let's finish with this." Listening to Neji's words, Sasuke had no choice but to agree with him. "So, what is this Akatsuki?" asked Naruto. "It is a group of shinobis. Group of terrorists, Neji." Sasuke interrupted Neji to correct his words. "Yeah, group of terrorists. There are supposedly 8 members in Akatsuki. It's them who are behind all these uncertainties. Killing shinobis, putting cages into coma, infiltrating village and causing havoc. What is their aim? What they want? No one knows. Maybe they are doing this just for fun, or maybe they are plotting something big." With this, Neji finished his explanation. The shop went completely silent. Naruto mentally released a deep sigh after listening to so many new things. Akatsuki, cages, chakra scrolls, tailed beasts, 9 tails. All these words were constantly revolving in his head. But keeping aside all these thoughts, he got up from his seat as everyone looked at him. He went back inside the shop and started writing something on a piece of paper. Everyone present there were looking at him confused. "What are you all looking at?" Naruto then put the piece of paper in Sakura's hand, who was sitting in the middle seat. Everyone shared a look at the paper as the expression on their face suddenly changed. They had a grinning face with a hint of sweat drop. "So yes, that is the bill. Pay it," Naruto said. "You see, Naruto." All of them put their hands inside the pocket and pulled out its inside to show it was empty. Again the shop went silent. It took a little time for Naruto to accept the fact that his friends had no money with them. "Oe oe you all," before Naruto could say further they started running. "Bye bye Naruto. Kiba, thanks for the treat Naruto. Sakura. Meet us at Narumi's home, Ino. How the hell will I know the address? Naruto. Ask anyone for Hokage's house, idiot. Sasuke." Naruto could hear them laughing as they ran and then disappeared from his sight. Namikaze house. Past few days have been rough for the Namikaze family. The red-haired beauty, who is also the heart of the house, was sick past few days. Ever since then, Menma and Narumi have been staying with their mother and taking care of her day and night. Just like all the other past few days, even today they were in their mother's room sitting next to her. "Ka-san, take your medicines." Menma handed Kushina her medicines and then offered her a glass of water. He then sat next to his sister. "You both are taking so much care of me. I am lucky to have children like you," said Kushina. "Of course, Ka-san, we are your kids, it's natural for us to take your care. After all, you are the soul of our house," said Narumi as she placed her head on Kushina's lap and then stretched her legs over Menma's lap. "Oe oe, what are you doing? Am I your bed or what?" said Menma as he tickled Narumi's legs. "Please Ni-san, I am your small sister, right? Please Ni-san?" Narumi's starstruck eyes were hypnotizing for Menma. Whenever she would request like that with blinking stars in her eyes, he couldn't resist. "Huh, Fine, do whatever you want. Only if I had an older brother I would have enjoyed like you, said Menma. If we had another big brother it would be so much fun, right? Narumi joined her brother in the conversation. Kushina was silently listening to their talks with tears forming in her eyes. Every time they would mention having an elder brother she could not help but to think about Naruto. Those little memories she had with him would always make their way in her mind and make her eyes burst in tears. So Ka-san, how did today's day go? You felt better today? Asked Narumi. Yeah, I guess I will be okay in 2 days. Please recover fast Ka-san, I can't eat Two-san's made food for a long time, said Menma, to which everyone laughed. I heard that. Menma. All three of them looked at the direction of voice to see Minato standing at the door. As Minato walked inside the room they noticed Sasuke, Neji, Sakura, Ino and Kiba were also present. You all. Narumi jumped out of her seat in excitement as she saw her friends. Sorry for disturbing you so late in the day, said Sasuke as he walked inside. Come on now, don't act so formal, remember when you all were small you all would hang out in this house for whole day, said Minato. He is right. So what about this sudden visit? Asked Menma. We came here to visit Kushina-san. Haven't heard from you for a long time so we came to visit your mother. I hope you're doing well, Kushina-san? Asked Neji. I am fine, thank you all for coming. Kushina replied them with a warm smile, stomach groaning. Oh, I am really hungry, said Kushina. After saying this Menma and Narumi looked at their father with a sweat drop face. They gave that expression intentionally for Minato to quickly notice. Fine, don't look at me like that, I know you don't want my cooked food today. To be honest, even I am tired to cook, so I have already ordered something. You all have dinner in our home tonight, I have ordered a lot. It's my treat today. Thank you for asking Hokage-sama, but we already have had our dinner together, said Ino. It's okay, nothing goes wrong if you eat dinner again. It's been a long time since you all of you visited our house. You should all make some time and come here to stay for a day. When Shikamaru's and Lee's team comes back to village, plan a sleepover. Sure thing. Before Kiba could speak his voice was suppressed by two blonde siblings. What have you ordered? Menma and Narumi said as their faces lit up in happiness. When I was coming back to home every restaurant was closed already. Just when I lost all the hopes I met Tucci-san with his daughter Ayame on the street. I requested him if he could do something, so he said that he would send someone to deliver the food to our house. So yes. We will have ramen today. Hearing their father's words, Menma and Narumi jumped up in happiness. Minato and Kushina laughed at their antics, but then they noticed stunned Sasuke and Neji along with Sakura, Ino and Kiba, who were wearing an "uh-oh" face. They were confused at such weird reaction, so they couldn't help but ask them, what happened to you all? Why such reaction? Nothing, it's just. The one who will be coming to deliver ramen is our new friend. Replied Ino. New friend? When? How? Asked Menma. Well, it's a long story, but in short he is a new guy who has just settled in the village. It was Hinata who helped him settle in the village, so then today we got acquainted and he is an interesting guy, so we became friends. Ino went on to explain everything, including how they ran out of the Ichiraku shop leaving Bill in Naruto's hand. They all shared a good laugh at the event. I am feeling bad for him. Just one day in the village and you all did this to him. Laughed Narumi. He must have got a good idea now how crazy bunch of friends he has made, said Kushina. Minato, who was sitting on a chair in the corner reading something in his book, so he was paying no attention. So what's the name of the new guy? Asked Menma. Naruto, replied Sasuke. This took attention of both Kushina and Minato. Kushina had an expression like she has heard something unbelievable while Minato closed his book hard. Everyone except Kushina looked at Minato, who was looking at them with wide eyes. Kushina on other hand just couldn't believe her ears, so just to confirm herself she asked them, What is his name? Naruto. Sakura stuttered a bit while saying as she was confused by the sudden change in expression both Minato and Kushina had. It was like they have seen a ghost. They both looked at each other with an unsaid message, Is there a slightest chance of this Naruto being our child? Long ago they had already convinced their heart of their eldest son's death, but hearing that name again gave birth to a very faint ray of hope. Just when the whole room was filled with an awkward silence they heard the ring of their doorbell. I guess he has arrived. Naruto. I guess he has arrived. Naruto. Ramen. Menma and Narumi ran down the stairs singing the word. Bring him up here. Kushina said loud enough for Menma and Narumi to hear. She wanted to see this Naruto in person. Name which she never got chance to call, name which created dark void in her heart. Minato on other hand was aware of thoughts going on in Kushina's mind. He was absolute that his son can't return. The grief he has carried of letting his son slip out of his hand was something only he could know. He was actually amazed that there would be someone named Naruto. I mean, the name was kept after a ramen topping which only a crazy ramen lover like them could keep, but again, it's not impossible to have no person with same name. Footsteps of walking up on the stairs was heard. As the footsteps got louder, so did Kushina's heart started to beat faster. And then with a asterisk click sound, the door was finally opened. Hey, this guy has same hair and eye color like me. Just his eyes are a bit orangish shade, said Menma as he walked in with Naruto. The chat among the group began with an introduction by Menma and Narumi. Kushina on other hand was awestruck. She could no more hold her tears now. These were not tears of sadness, but these were the tears of pure happiness. Those blonde hairs, those blue eyes. In an instant she took him as her Naruto. For her, only her children were allowed to have such traits. Maybe it was just an excuse she made to her desperate heart which yearned of return of her child someday. He looks so much like how I had imagined him. He must be my son. His name is same, his hairs are yellow, he has blue eyes. All these can't be just coincidence. He has to be my son, right? After a long time the group finally noticed the tears coming out of Kushina's eyes. Come here, she said, looking at Naruto as she put forward her both arms. Her voice was soft with a smile plastered on her face. Naruto felt that expression so relaxing, as if his whole fatigue was washed out by the melodious ring in that call. Just like when a mother calls out for her child, but then he wiped off all those thoughts from his mind. What are you thinking all of a sudden, Naruto? She is crying. Did I do something wrong? Naruto looked at Menma and Narumi, who indicated him to go to her. Naruto nervously gulped and started walking towards Kushina just for his face to be cupped by her. This amazed the whole room except Minato, who knew every thought of his wife. Menma and Narumi were beyond shocked by sudden behavior by their mother. Has medicines taken a toll on her? Menma whispered in Narumi's ears just to receive a punch on his stomach. Stupid, don't say rubbish. Naruto. Naruto. Naruto, Kushina murmured his name quietly to herself. After keeping that name deep in her heart, she was finally freed to say that. She couldn't get more of it than continuously repeating his name. Minato was sitting there with a sad look on his face. She is thinking him as Naruto. It's not her fault, as he has a lot of things similar in his looks, but she needs to finally forget Naruto now. She can't replace him with someone who just happens to have traits similar like me. Clearing his throat, everyone go down to the dining table and sit there. Menma, Narumi, go and serve the ramen before it gets cold. Me and your Ka-san will come in a minute. Naruto, you two join us today. Before Naruto could say something to deny the offer, he was interrupted by Kushina. Yes, join us, we will also get acquainted. Naruto was meeting Hokage and his wife for the first time, so he decided not to deny their first offer, so he just nodded his head. So, how much? Minato pulled out his wallet to pay for the order, but Naruto quickly stopped him. No, Hokage-sama, no need for it. Tuchi-san told me not to take money from you for any order. No, how can I eat for free after ordering something out of working hours? Here, I hope this much is enough. Minato pulled out money from his wallet and forced it into Naruto's hands. Now come on Naruto, come do it fast, I can't let my dear ramen to wait more for me, said Narumi. Soon the group walked down the stairs, closing the door of the room, leaving Minato and Kushina only in the room. What was that just now, Kush? Before Minato could speak, he was suppressed by the joyous jumps by Kushina as she caught his hands. He is back, Minato. Our Naruto, he is back, look at him, he came back to us. My prayers were answered, Kushina kept on blabbering. Kushina, he is not our Naruto. Minato said in a bit high pitch to stop her. Can't people have same names? Don't take any random guy who has just settled in our village as our son. This time he lowered his tone. But he is our Naruto. His eyes, his hairs, it's him, Minato. Kushina said. Are you declaring him our son just because some of the traits matches me? Okay, then what about his whiskers? I don't have them. Also, Naruto didn't have them either when he was born. Now it might have grown on him as he grew up. You not having whiskers doesn't mean he can't have it. There is a possibility of unique trait, replied Kushina. Oh, then what about his eyes? They are orangish blue unlike our Naruto had when he was born. Now don't tell me that eye color can also change with the age. But Minato, I am telling you, believe me, he is our son. He matches exactly the picture I imagined our Naruto would have. My heart tells me it's him. She tried her hard to convince Minato, but it was natural for Minato to accept someone he just met as his long-gone son. Your heart tells you, huh? Minato murmured slowly with a sad tone. Then why can't my heart say something? I don't think it's him, Kushina, but it's been a while since I have seen you that happy ever since we lost him. Even if you accept him, I will just behave with him like a normal villager of this village. Fine, do whatever you want, someday you will understand. Day when even your heart will say something. Now I am going. The smell of ramen is calling me. Kushina then walked out of the room. I hope it's not too late by the time my heart says something. Everyone settled on their seat waiting for their ramen to be served. Here it is. Menma and Narmu walked out of the kitchen with a huge tray of bowls of ramen. They then slowly kept each bowl on the table to respective person. Here Naruto, let me show you my way to eat ramen, said Menma as he was about to sit beside Naruto, but he was grabbed by his back collar by Kushina. I am sitting here, said Kushina, and then sat next to Naruto. Minato, who was sitting next to Narumi, gave a small smile on his wife's antics. Itadakimasu. Everyone started eating the food after they said their prayers. This is the way one can enjoy ramen to its fullest. Naruto. Kushina showed Naruto her way of eating ramen. Hey Ka-san, that's my style, don't copy me, said Menma. From whom did you learn to eat this, huh? Kushina's question silenced him as he started to rub behind his head with a sweat drop. The dine continued for a while with lots of laughs at the memories shared by Menma and his friends. Naruto also acquainted himself to Kushina and Minato and told them about his problem of remembering nothing before 6 years. This just made Kushina more sure of herself. Naruto, will you help me carry those dishes? Said Kushina as she picked up the finished up bowls of ramen and placed it in the tray. Yes, sure. Naruto then helped Kushina carry the dishes to the kitchen. Menma and Narumi couldn't understand their mother's behavior since Naruto arrived. Why did Ka-san ask Naruto to carry the dishes? He is a guest, right? She is acting as if he is a family member, Menma whispered in Narumi's ears. Yeah, I also can't understand. But look at her, she has completely recovered and is now smiling. That is all we want, right? She replied, to which Menma nodded. Soon only Naruto returned from kitchen and sat back to his place. What is Ka-san doing? Asked Menma. I don't know. She told me to go back and she will be coming in a minute. After a while Kushina returned from the kitchen with a smile brighter than ever. So Naruto, I heard you were looking for a home for rent, she said with the same smile. Yes, I mean Tucci-san's home is for only 2 people, so I can't be a bother for a lot of time, so I was look for a home for rent so that I could move there after receiving my first salary. Naruto replied. Oh, you see, we have a room free in our home so you can live here. Kushina's words made everyone in the room astonished. Menma and Narumi couldn't understand why she was being so nice to a person who she had just met. Minato, on other hand, was rubbing his forehead thinking what all his wife has planned to do now. No, Kushina-san, I can't be a bother to you all too. After a month I will be shifting to a new place, so it's not a problem. Before Naruto could complete, he was interrupted by Kushina. Oh, so you think to rent a house with your first salary? She asked, to which Naruto simply nodded. Do you know how much is the cheapest price for a house on rent here? This time Naruto shook his head. Honestly, he didn't know that, as he thought he had a month to think about that. Even if you could rent, if we deduct it from your salary you would be left with just handful of money. What about daily expenses? As Kushina kept asking him questions, he could say nothing but to simply look at her like a fool. See? You are just 19, so don't stress yourself so much. It's decided. Naruto, you are staying in our home from today. And from today I mean you're sleeping here tonight. But I will have to inform Tucci-san first, said Naruto. Don't worry about that, I have already sent a messenger toad to his place informing him about this topic. So why did you even ask him in the first place if it was already decided by you? Minato questioned, to which Kushina quickly answered, just for formality. Minato laughed wholeheartedly at this. He was happy. More than happy, as he received back his same old Kushina who he always loved. The side of Kushina which disappeared after Naruto's death finally returned. Menma, "Narumi, go and clean the guest room quickly," ordered Kushina, to which both of them whined, but looking at their mother's deadly glare, both of them got up from their seat. They knew they can't defy the orders of Red Hot Habanero. Just when they were on their way upstairs to clean the room, they heard series of loud bangs on the door. It caught everyone's attention as the knocks got louder and louder. Narumi quickly went to open the door, and as soon as the door was opened, a leaf shinobi barged inside. The sweat on his face, the scared expression he was wearing clearly indicated that something was wrong. "Hokage-sama, the Naka Shrine." Just the mention of Naka Shrine made Minato jump out of his seat. "What happened to Naka Shrine?" he asked. "The Naka Shrine has been attacked by Akatsuki. I guess they have something to do with Uchiha Stone Tablet." This made everyone jump out of their seat. "How many Akatsukis are there?" asked Sasuke. "All of them. Most of our Anbu Black Ops have been deployed to defeat the invaders under the orders of Anbu head Danzo-sama. And Itachi Uchiha is fighting the Crow." As soon as the situation was explained by the shinobi, all of them dashed outside the house without wasting a moment. "It's him, the Crow." Sasuke gritted his teeth at the name. At the Naka Shrine, all the 8 members of Akatsuki were standing beside each other waiting for their leader to say something as he read what was written on the stone tablet. The atmosphere in there was a very quiet and tense one. The aim, the objective, the reason of existence of Akatsuki. Everything was depending on what was written on it. Everyone noted the expression their leader Nagato had as he read it. One could tell just by looking at him that he was under great conflict inside his mind. "Nagato, what did it read?" Konan asked to break the suffocating silence created around them. Nagato remained silent even after Konan's question. He looked behind at his group and gawked at the whole group for a while. "From tomorrow it starts. The beginning of the end of Akatsuki. Also the beginning of success of Akatsuki's goals." The short message of Nagato gave an idea to the whole group of what was their aim. "Tomorrow we will start the hunt. The first is 1 tails and 2 tails," said Nagato. "We will go then." Deidara and Sasori volunteered themselves. "It will be our honor to be the first one," they said. "Nagato, what did it say? Tell us exactly what did it say?" Konan asked him again. "Not here, Konan. Konoha might be sending reinforcement here soon and Crow alone can't handle them. We will first go to our place." Soon after Nagato said, the whole group started walking towards the exit. Minato along with some shinobis came running towards the Naka Shrine. As soon as they reached the place, they were shocked by seeing their comrades lying on the ground brutally beaten, though none of them seemed to be dead. "There they are, Hokage-sama," Neji said as he directed his finger at the 8 Akatsuki members who were leaving the place. "They are leaving, don't let them escape," ordered Minato as the group rushed towards the Akatsukis. Amaterasu. Soon black-colored flames covered the whole group in circle. Amaterasu. The infamous black flames that are inextinguishable. This is the first time I am seeing it. Everyone don't try to cross it or else you will be pursued. Minato ordered as everyone stopped. "So you did this, huh? The Crow? Don't tell me you defeated Itachi Ni-san also." Sasuke looked above the tree at a Akatsuki member who was sitting on the tree branch. The person was hiding his face under a one-eyed mask, glaring his Sharingan eye which had blood dripping out of it. "He has Mangekyo Sharingan. This explains how you were able to defeat him." "Sorry Sasuke, I don't have time to chat with you. Maybe next time." After saying this, the Crow vanished from the place. After a while the black flames finally died down. The group helped their fallen comrades get back on their legs and provided medic to them. Some who were in worse condition were being taken to hospital. Soon from the woods Sasuke walked out with his brother Itachi, who was walking by his support. "Hokage-sama, I found him deep inside the woods near the entrance of the shrine. He must have had a hard fight with the Crow," said Sasuke. "Sorry Hokage-sama, I was not able to hold them until your arrival." Itachi apologized at his state. "Don't apologize Itachi, you did your best. And about this thing, there is a lot we need to discuss." At Namikaze House. As Narumi and Menma went out for the battle, the mantle of cleaning the guest room fell on Kushina. "Kushina-san, let me do it. You are sick, so you should rest. As I am the one who will be using the room, I should clean it myself." Naruto then grabbed the mop from Kushina's hand and started cleaning the room. As Naruto cleaned the room, Kushina asked him many questions about his hobbies and favorites. It didn't took a lot of time for Naruto to get comfortable with this lady who was so humble to allow a complete stranger live in her house. It was like a dream for Kushina. Having a nice chat with her son was something she always missed. Whatever was happening in the village didn't matter to Kushina. All she wanted was to live this moment forever. "So Kushina-san?" asked Naruto. Her heart would crack little every time Naruto would call her like that instead of Ka-san. She knew she can't speed things unnecessarily. She convinced herself that someday she would be able to hear Naruto calling her mom. Until then she will wait just like she has been doing. "What is it, Naruto?" Kushina finally replied after being spacing out. "Are these attacks frequent in this village?" Naruto asked. "No, this is the first time that they have attacked our village." "That is maybe because they learned that this is the last day for village to be without barriers," said Kushina. Naruto couldn't understand her at first time, but then he recalled about the village barrier Sasuke told him. "So they knew about village barriers," murmured Naruto. "You know, Naruto, there is a ghost in our village. Not a literal ghost, but it is a spy from Akatsuki that is hiding inside the village." Naruto's eyes widened after he heard this. Only top shinobis of this village actually knew about installation of barriers. So the ghost is someone from these shinobis who informed Akatsuki about this. But the problem is that all these shinobis are so close that none of them can be suspected. This is why we have named him as Ghost. At the Hokage office, after the recent attack, Minato called all the top important shinobis for a meeting. This meeting was being attended by Anbu head Danzo, Hyuga head Hiashi, Uchiha head Fugaku, Orochimaru, Tsunade, Kakashi Hitaki, Anbu captain Itachi. "So the Naka shrine was attacked, huh? What are these Akatsuki up to?" said Danzo. "I think they came to read what was written on the stone tablet," said Hiashi, but he was quickly proved wrong by Fugaku. "That's not possible, Hiashi. Only one who could read it was Madara Uchiha because he had eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. A normal Sharingan eye can't decipher it. Is there any chance of them having someone with that eye?" asked Minato. The room went silent after this. It was true that none of them can strongly deny that possibility. And the fact that Akatsuki attacked it might be for some reason. I wonder what is written on it. It is said that Madara Uchiha said to massacre his own clan after he read it. If it is something that concerns Uchiha, then the Six Tails Chakra Scroll must be shifted to Hyuga's, said Danzo. Everyone seemed to agree on this point. They attacked exactly before installation of barriers, continued Itachi. If we don't find out who is the ghost, then Akatsuki will never stop. All of our missions to ambush them were failed because they already had the intel on us. Something which concerns me more is the crow. He has Mangekyo Sharingan, and only person who had it after Madara was Obito, said Kakashi. So we were right. Obito is still alive and is operating his schemes with Akatsuki, said Danzo. He and Madara are responsible for deaths of so many Uchihas. We can't give them justice until we eliminate this Akatsuki, Fugaku said with anger visible on his face. You know it right, Hokage-sama, what we have to do if they are after the tailed beast's chakra scrolls. Minato nodded at Danzo's words and said, we will have to seal 9 tails chakra in Menma, the prophecy left behind Jiraiya-sensei. Your son is the key, and the only one who can nest 9 tails chakra is him. Minato remembered Jiraiya's words with tears forming in his eyes. The prophecy was made by Great Toad of Mount Myoboku, so there is no way it would be wrong. Also, he is an Uzumaki, so he has an enormous chakra pool, said Danzo. After 1 hour, at Namikaze House, Naruto was lying on the bed in his new room which he had just received. Lying down there, he was taking a quick recap of everything that happened today. From running out of Hinata's proposal ceremony to shifting to Hokage's house, he couldn't believe this was happening. Soon his eyes got heavier and heavier, and eventually he fell asleep thinking about the day. Naruto. Kurama, what is happening to you? Naruto, hurry. Run. They must not find you. You are the key. Don't leave me, Kurama. Don't leave me alone. You are our hope, Naruto. You need to run, now. With a sudden scream, Naruto shot up from his bed. He was sweating all over his body even in the cold winter. What kind of dream was it? A nightmare? Naruto was scared by the dream he had, but was it really a dream? After that, Naruto tried his hard to sleep, but he just couldn't. That dream was playing in his mind like a loop. He grabbed his red sweater that was hanging on the door and covered his body with it. He had very limited number of clothes to wear. And for this winter he had this only sweater which he had woven himself to protect him from cold. He slowly walked out of the house in order to not to wake up the family and started walking to a random direction. As he walked up the elevated path he reached to higher lands. He then noticed a place which had a bench over a cliff. The scenery from there would be really nice. Maybe I will sit there for a while looking at stars. As he walked closer he saw a lady already sitting over there. He was amazed that someone at this hour would be here, so he walked closer to see. If I request her to make some space for me, that should be fine. Excuse me, may I sit beside you? Just a little space will do, Naruto said as he placed his hand on the person's shoulder. As the lady turned her head behind, Naruto's eyes widened. Oh, it's you, Hinata. Hinata, who was still staring at his orange-blue eyes under the moonlight, didn't utter any word. May I sit here, Hinata? Naruto asked politely. Why yes, sure. Hinata snapped out of her stare and made some space for Naruto to sit. I didn't expect to see you at this hour, said Naruto as he sat down. Oh, it's because the Six Tails chakra scroll was shifted to Hyuga's, so we got late in dinner today. And it's my habit to go for a walk after dinner, she replied. Naruto got an idea that it might be something about today's attack, so he decided to not ask anything about that. Suddenly a cold breeze blew around the place, causing Hinata to shiver. You are feeling cold even after wearing a sweater? Naruto teased her just to receive a pout from her. Look who is talking. Just a day ago you were the one shivering in cold, she teased him back. Oh come on, that was because I was starving and cold was adding more to it. Naruto defended himself. Naruto noticed that Hinata was holding tight on her sweater, still shivering. So he removed his sweater and covered it around Hinata's shoulders. Hinata was taken off guard by this sudden act of Naruto. She looked at Naruto, who was scratching his cheeks with a pinkish shade on it. I made it pretty thick so it should work, he said. You crafted it yourself? It's good, Hinata complimented the cloth as she held tight to it. Aren't you feeling cold? Look at your shirt, it's too exposing for winter. You should get some clothes for winter, said Hinata. Don't worry about me. I am used to this cold, it's nothing for me. And about clothes? Kushina-san said that she would give me Menma's unused clothes to wear. Well, she actually insisted to go out shopping with her to buy new clothes, but I said that I will buy them with my own money. I can't be more of a burden to them than I already am. Hinata, who was listening to all this with a confused face, had no idea about what he was saying, so she asked, wait, what? Kushina-san? What is happening? Naruto then explained her all the events that took place after they ran out of her place and how he ended up living in Hokage's house. So what are you doing here so late? Hinata asked to continue the conversation. I had a dream. More like nightmare. He continued. Hey Hinata, can someone totally remember a dream like he has lived it? Hinata couldn't answer the question he asked. It was like a one-sided question. Naruto asked to himself. I can remember every single detail of the dream I just had. There was a huge-tailed fox-like creature asking me to run. It was like I have seen him before. You said you remember nothing from 6 years ago, right? Maybe these are your memories that are coming in form of dream, said Hinata. Naruto seemed to accept what Hinata was saying, and somewhere he was feeling unsecure of these dreams or return of memories. Will he change after he regains his every memory, was what he was thinking. It's too late now, I have to go, said Hinata as she got up from the wooden bench. Well, Naruto? Naruto looked at Hinata, who seemed to be struggling to say something. Can I borrow this? She asked, pointing towards the sweater Naruto wrapped around her. Of course, no need to ask, replied Naruto with a smile. Soon both of them bid each other farewell and Hinata walked towards her home while Naruto stayed on the bench. As Hinata walked back to her house, she would every now and then take a look at the cloth she just borrowed. Looking at the nature of hers, borrowing something from someone would be the last thing she would do. But this time she did. Maybe it was just on whim, but now she was not going to give it back soon. She didn't realize that she was smiling all the way to her home. Her heart has already fallen for Naruto. The only thing remaining was her mind to accept it. I just borrowed it because it's really cold, not because I wanted to keep something from him with me. He said he is fine, right? So it's okay, she tried to convince herself. Few days later, at Namikaze house, Naruto's life caught a steady pace in time being. He would wake up early, help Kushina in household works, leave the house by the time he had to go to work in the shop, return home at night, help Kushina in her work, and then finally go to sleep. He would meet his friends who would visit him every time at the shop and have a good chat with them. Naruto, 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 Naruto. For Kushina, calling Naruto's name every now and then was like breathing for her. Only one name would echo in the whole house, which was Naruto. Just like every other days, even today Naruto was helping Kushina in the kitchen in preparing breakfast. Menma and Narumi were peeking through the kitchen window and looking at how both of them were having fun while working. Don't you think in past few days Ka-san has taken Naruto's name more than our boats combined? Said Narumi. Yeah, you are right. Yesterday I saw Naruto resting on Ka-san's lap while she was ruffling his hairs, replied Menma. What, really? Whenever I would ask her to do it to me, she would always deny. Did Naruto ask her to do so? Asked Narumi. Menma indicated her to lower her voice as she was being too loud. Are you stupid? You think Naruto would ask her to do? When I passed by his room I saw he was sleeping alone, and then when I returned I saw Ka-san ruffling his hairs. I am kind of getting jealous. Is this how it would be if we had a brother? Said Narumi. Both of them talked to each other for a lot of time staying there, and without them realizing they started to talk loudly. What are you both doing there? Asked Kushina as she spotted both of them. Oh, nothing, we were just seeing if the breakfast is ready, we have to train too. Said Menma as he and Narumi walked inside the kitchen. Okay, just 5 minutes. It's not like you are getting late because of 5 more minutes, said Kushina. Narumi then noticed Naruto's sword, which he always carried in a sheath. I don't understand, why do you always carry a sword with you? You are not even a shinobi, so why do you need it? Naruto was having a small smile with a sweat drop at the question she asked. Naruto actually had no job with it, but he would always carry it out of habit. Do you know how to use it? Or is that just for show? Said Menma with a teasing smile. Yes, I mean my kenjutsu, sword skills, is really good, I guess. Before Naruto could say further, he was suppressed by Narumi. Then why don't you show it to us? You have some time remaining to go to work, right? Even I would like to see them. Minato came out of nowhere with a smile on his face. Let's move outside at our house garden after breakfast. 10 minutes later. Are you ready? Asked Minato as he sat on the bench beside his wife. Both of them were spectating the friendly fight between Narumi and Menma versus Naruto. Narumi and Menma took their stance while Naruto was standing opposite to them looking around him. This area is specially for our practice, so it's quite spacious, don't worry. Menma and Narumi then pulled out a special kunai from their pocket. Are you ready, Naruto? 'Cause it will be over in a flash. Naruto simply nodded his head to Menma's question and waited for Minato to start the round. Ready? Start? As soon as Naruto heard that, he quickly grabbed his sword to pull out from its sheath, but before he could even pull it out, Menma and Narumi already were close to him, directing their kunai at his neck. Naruto's eyes widened by such tremendous speed. He could barely even see them. Told you it will be over in flash. If you try to swing the sword at me, then Narumi from behind will slit your throat, or vice versa. It's a win-win situation, said Menma. Minato and Kushina on other hand were shocked at the scene as their jaw dropped. You should look around you. As Narumi and Menma looked around them, they realized that they were already surrounded by Naruto's shadow clones who were darting their sword right at their nape. They couldn't believe that their flying Raijin was countered for the first time. Sweat slowly forming, they understood that they already lost the fight as they lifted their hands up in the air to surrender. He performed Kage Bunshin without weaving any hand signs. And something which is more astonishing is that he was able to see Menma and Narumi even with such flash speed. Minato being shocked at the scene would be an understatement. For the first time he has seen someone keeping up with the speed of flying Raijin. Naruto, how were you able to keep up with their flying Raijin? Even a Sharingan eye can't keep up with it. I didn't see them, Hokage-sama. It was really like Flash. I was just preparing to make clones, and just in the meantime they used their flying Raijin. A total coincidence. No way I can see through such monster speed, it's like cheating. If it was a real fight I would have lost without a doubt. Sad that they are so powerful that I couldn't even show my kenjutsu. As expected from Hokage's kids, replied Naruto. But still, to perform such high-level jutsu without any hand signs, it's terrific. You are no less than both of them. Came Kushina to support Naruto. Soon all of them noticed Itachi walking towards them. Hokage-sama, there is a bad news. Everyone already knew what the news would be about, but Minato still asked him. The Akatsuki. They stole the chakra scroll of 1 Tails and 2 Tails. And they also killed the cage of Iwagakure. Minato's eyes widened at the news. He or no one there expected it to be so worse. So I guess Danzo's guess was right. We need to prepare to seal 9 tails in you Menma, said Minato, to which Menma nodded. I will get going now or else I will get scolded by Ayame-san and Tuchi-san, said Naruto as he left the place. At Ichiraku's, good morning. I hope I am not late, said Naruto as he walked inside the shop. Just on time Naruto. Now help me boil noodles. Ayame then handed him the noodles. Ever since you have come our shop has had a growth in customers. Not to say most of them are girls, said Ayame as he teased Naruto. Both of them shared a good laugh as their conversation continued. Soon as the customers started arriving in the shop they both got busy in their work. Just when the shop finally got empty a very familiar customer arrived, Sakura. Naruto and Sakura greeted each other in a friendly way. So what would you like to order? Asked Naruto. Just the regular one, she replied. Naruto noticed that Sakura was not in her usual self today. She didn't look cheerful and bright like she always did. He could see that she was deeply thinking something while sitting there. Also it was unusual for her to come here alone without her best friend Ino. Ino didn't come with you? Naruto tried to hold a conversation but he was given a straight and direct answers. No, she is busy in a mission. A mission? I hope she comes to the village before tomorrow's stay at Menma's home, said Naruto. Yeah, she most likely will come by then, replied Sakura. All her answers were monotonous so Naruto decided to ask her straight about what was bugging her. He walked out of the counter and sat beside her and asked, "What is the matter? Did something happen?" Sakura slowly shook her head but Naruto needed his answers so he asked her again, "Did your parents scold you? Or did you burn up today's breakfast? Or did someone teased you on your forehead?" Naruto received a punch on his stomach for trying to make fun of her. Or is it about Sasuke? Naruto noticed the change in expression on Sakura's face after he mentioned Sasuke's name so he got the idea. So it's about Sasuke, huh? Somewhere in shadows. It's almost done. I hope it goes as you said and I receive the power of 10 tails. You are doing good. After 2 months our seal will get weak. That is when you will do it. And then as I said, the power of 10 tails will be yours. Is the chakra of all tailed beasts necessary? The more tailed beast chakra you have the better it is. Though it's not necessary to get all of them. But 9 tails chakra is the one necessary. There is just one more thing to take care of, the Hokage. After that everything will be mine. At the Konoha park, the whole group of Konoha 13 were sitting in the park attending the meeting called by Naruto. The only ones who were missing in them was Sasuke, who Naruto purposely didn't call, and Ino, who was out on a mission. None of them knew why had Naruto suddenly called them, but because Naruto said it was very important all of them agreed to meet. So what do you want to say? Asked Shikamaru. In the past few days after Shikamaru's and Lee's team returned to Konoha they got acquainted with Naruto. Come on now, say it fast. I get hungry when I am curious, said Choji, who was about to finish his last packet of chips. When you get hungry you should do 100 push-ups. Lee then started to do the push-ups. Wouldn't that make him more hungry? Sweat dropped Tenten. How troublesome, whined Shikamaru. Will you guys let me speak? Interrupted Naruto. We have a problem guys. It's about Sasuke. Next day. I am so excited about today's sleepover, I want this day to end fast, said Narumi. I am more excited about today's lunch at barbecue. It's been ages since we all went there together, said Menma. We are getting late. What is taking Naruto so long? Kushina-san, I am telling you it's just casual lunch, I don't need to wear this. Naruto and Kushina were in Naruto's room discussing the outfit for today's lunch. It was an unneedingly long chat. Naruto, who on one hand wanted to wear his everyday casual clothes but on other hand there was Kushina who wanted him to wear the outfit she had bought for this very purpose. After a long discussion of denials and insists, Naruto surrendered against Kushina and agreed to wear her choice. See? You are looking so good in it. Kushina dragged Naruto in front of the mirror and showed him. As Naruto looked at mirror he had a small smile plastered on his face. Soon stream of tears started to trail down from his eyes, to which Kushina was totally confused. Thank you very much Kushina-san. For a freeloader like me whose place is not even at stairs of this house, you helped me so much. Took me in, gave me some clothes, lended me money. You made me feel like a part of this home, this family. I don't know who my mother is, but you did everything a mother does for a child. Please, please tell me how can I repay you? Listening to Naruto's words, Kushina was left in tears. She was so happy that she couldn't express it. You said I did everything a mother does to her child, right? Then don't say the words like repay and freeloader. There is just one request. Continued Kushina as she wiped off her tears, always keep an eye on Menma and Narumi like an elder brother. Always protect them. Naruto held Kushina's hands in his palms and with determined eyes he replied, if there comes a time, Kushina-san, I will go to any extent to protect them. Menma and Narumi both were exhausted waiting for Naruto at the house door. Soon they saw Naruto running down the stairs. Look at the time, we are going to get late now, scolded Narumi. Now don't waste the time talking here, let's go, said Menma. At barbecue, the yakiniku queue. Everyone had arrived to restaurant on time except the three blondes. All of them were tired from waiting and their exhausted faces were the evidence for that. It was Naruto's plan and he is late himself, complained Sasuke. I can understand about Narumi and Menma, but Naruto. Looks like it's the effects of staying with them, laughed Shikamaru. Soon the group noticed Menma and Narumi walking towards them. You both are late, said Ino, to which both of them apologized. Where is Naruto? Is he not coming? Sakura's worry was clearly seen through her tone of voice and facial expression. He has assured me that it would work. All my hopes are riding on him. Sasuke noticed the worried body language of Sakura, so he quickly asked, is there anything wrong, Sakura? You seem to be worried. Oh, so you noticed? Said Ino. Of course, who wouldn't when a motormouth stays silent for the whole time? Sasuke was amazed that he was not given any reaction by Sakura even after calling her motormouth. Something is wrong with her. Oh, hello everyone, sorry for being late, said Naruto as went on and sat next to Neji. Naruto and Sakura looked at each other like they were giving a message through their eyes. So guys, what to order? After 30 minutes, the lunch shared with lots of talks, laughs, teases and memories finally ended. The whole time Sasuke tried his best to hold a conversation with Sakura, but he was either ignored or given a short answer. He even asked Ino what has happened to Sakura, but even she didn't know. Soon the group noticed a tall boy with yellow hairs tied in a manbun walking towards them. He had a strong presence which took the attention of everyone in the group. He had painting marks on both of his cheek accompanied by dark black goggles. He wore a sleeveless shirt which displayed his muscular build and casual shinobi pants. Hello everyone. Sorry for disturbing you all, but I have something important to say. Or may I say, confess, he said. See, confess? Asked Ino. Without wasting any moment, he quickly sat on his knee in a proposed pose towards Sakura and pulled out a rose. Everyone present there were completely shocked as their jaw dropped at the scene. May I know your name, miss? The yellow-haired shinobi asked. It's Sakura, she replied. Sakura, such a nice name. Did you receive the flowers I sent to your home yesterday? He asked, to which Sakura nodded. Sasuke, who on other hand was looking at the whole scene with wide eyes, couldn't believe it. A lump formed in his throat and his eyes refused to blink. He had never felt like this in his life. What is this feeling? This person? Who is this guy? And why is he giving flowers to her? Was this the reason why she was out of character today? Ever since I laid my eyes on you, I couldn't help but think about you, dream about you. I am not from this village, but I frequently come here for traveling purposes. And another purpose is you, Sakura-san. All this time I could only manage to muster the courage to give you the flowers, but my friends boosted me. It's now or never. Sakura-san. The yellow-haired shinobi gently placed the rose in her hands and said, Sakura-san, will you be the girl of my life? Will you accept my propose? The restaurant went completely silent after this. Not even a single sound of breath was heard. Sasuke's expression was like he has seen a ghost. He was feeling so insecure of this new guy here. No, Sakura, say no to him. Please say no, Sasuke muttered in his thoughts. Everyone now were looking at Sakura for her answer, but she said nothing. I know it's too sudden for you, Sakura-san. I am leaving this village by evening, so will you please give me my answer till then? Meet me at the Konoha forest, and till then, please think on it positively. After the yellow-haired boy said this, he bid his farewell and left the restaurant. So, what are you going to say? Questioned Sasuke, to which he received no answer. Sorry guys, but I am leaving now, said Sakura as she quickly left restaurant. Even I will leave. We have to come to your home by evening, right? I will pack my stuff till then, said Kiba as he got up from his place. Even I have to help Ka-san in some preparation, so I will leave, said Narumi, followed by Menma. Just like that, one by one everyone left the restaurant, leaving only stunned Sasuke and Naruto. How long are you going to sit here? Asked Naruto, but he received no reply. He very well knew what was going on in Sasuke's mind. He then sat next to him and placed his hand on his shoulders. Are you alright? Before Naruto could speak, he was interrupted by Sasuke. It's over, Naruto. She is going to say yes to him. What are you talking about? Sasuke looked at Naruto with tears in his eyes. This was shocking for Naruto. He has never even pictured Sasuke in such condition. Sakura is going to say yes to him. Naruto let out a chuckle at his words as he said, Sasuke, you sound like you like Sakura. I mean, whatever she says, why does it matter you? It matters, Naruto. Sasuke's voice was little loud, but then he kept it under control. I love her. But now she is going to be with someone else. That pretty blonde boy, why did he have to come? Sasuke softly banged the table as he cursed the yellow-haired shinobi. You really think she is going to say yes to him? Are you a fool, or what? She likes you, replied Naruto. She likes me. Soon after Sasuke said this, he received a hard smack on his head by Naruto. Don't play dumb with me. Everyone in the group knows that she like you. Even me, who has been with you all just for few weeks, can figure out that both of you like each other, so why is it that only you two don't know it? Sasuke had a smile on his face after he learned this. But Sasuke, what if she actually says yes to him? Said Naruto as if he was asking himself. Oye, are you trying to make me feel good or worse? Is there any way to stop her? Confess to her, Sasuke. That's the only way to stop her. She has been waiting for you the whole time, and she is still waiting for you. It's not too late, Sasuke, go and tell her how you feel. Or else you will regret it. Naruto's words gave him some courage. What should I say? Asked Sasuke with blush on his cheeks. That is what you need to think. I can only say one thing. It's about time for sunset. It will be evening any minute. At Konoha Forest, Sakura was on her way to her destination now. The whole path she walked with only one person in her mind. As she got closer and closer to her destination, her heartbeats were getting faster. Sakura. Sakura's eyes widened as she heard a familiar voice from her back. The happiness you feel when the person you were thinking about suddenly calls out your name. She turned behind as her eyes met Sasuke's. Sakura, are you going to meet him? Asked Sasuke, to which she just nodded. What is your answer? A moment of silence was shared between them before Sakura finally answered. It doesn't concern you, she said slowly, with both of her lips pressing hard to each other as if she was trying hard to suppress her smile. How does it not concern me? It does, Sakura, it very much does. Because I love you, said Sasuke as he placed both of his hands on her shoulders. Sakura couldn't believe her ears just now. Those three words were like melody to her ears, which she could listen to forever. After so many years, she finally managed to hear those words from the boy she loved since childhood. Joy and happiness were flowing out of her eyes in form of tears. She quickly jumped and entangled Sasuke in a hug. Sasuke was caught off guard by this, but it was not like he was complaining as he accepting her hug with his own. Fool! How many years it took you to just say this? Cried Sakura in his arms. I love you, Sakura. Your emerald green eyes, your pink shiny hairs, your beautiful face, your cute smile. Everything is so attractive. I would always try to steal a glance at you. I just couldn't muster the courage to confess. But seeing you taken away by some other guy made me speak up. I can't lose you, Sakura. I can't lose you. I love you too, Sasuke-kun. I love you so much. Both of them enjoyed the moment spent in each other's hug. Their time in their own privacy. Soon they released their hug as they looked at each other's eyes. No words were spoken as they drank each other's beauty. They both had never seen each other's face so close before. Slowly, and slowly the distance between their lips reduced as they closed their eyes. Hey, stop pushing me, this thing is about to break. I can't see. It's happening. Don't push, oye. Soon their sweet moment was put to an end as they saw Naruto, Menma and Narumi fall down on the ground from the tree, bringing along the whole group that was hiding there. Looking at this, Sasuke and Sakura quickly moved away from each other with red like tomato face. We didn't see anything, you both continued, please, said everyone in unison as they placed their hands on their eyes. What is the meaning of this? What are you all doing here? Sasuke couldn't understand anything happening here now. What are we doing here? Well, we were here to congratulate you both after your confession, but things were getting more interesting here. We really didn't mean to interrupt you, said Ino, to which everyone chuckled. After my confession? Wait, I can't understand a thing, said Sasuke as he looked at Sakura, who was so embarrassed that one could actually see steam going up from her face. You still don't get it, Sasuke, said Naruto as he walked beside him. Say it to him already, Naruto. I can't see him like this anymore, laughed Neji. This whole thing, we set it up. It was our plan. As Naruto said this, Sasuke's eyes widened. He looked towards the group for answers, to which everyone nodded in agreement with Naruto. Then Sasuke couldn't finish his words as he was interrupted by Menma. Hey, are you copying our Hinata? Said Menma, just to receive a punch from Hinata on his head. Wait, you are telling me you all plotted this? Sakura, you knew about this? Sakura's silence was enough for him to know his answer. The pink shade on Sasuke's cheeks was slowly spreading to his whole face. Then what about that yellow-haired guy who proposed her? Oh, that guy? Said Naruto as he called out the same yellow-haired guy who was hiding behind a tree. Yes, this guy, what about him? Asked Sasuke as he pointed at the person. He is just, continued Naruto as he made a hand sign, and the yellow-haired guy suddenly vanished in thin air. He was just my shadow clone. The whole group tried their hard to suppress their laughter, while on the other hand there was Sasuke, whose mind was completely blown off by this. Teme, at Namikaze house. Laughs. I knew someday you two would be together, but I didn't know Naruto would be the mastermind of bringing them together, said Kushina. Everyone had finally arrived at Menma's home for the sleepover with their stuff. In meantime, Sasuke also prepared himself for the teases that were yet to be thrown at him. Right now everyone was in the hall along with Kushina as they told her everything that happened today. But when did you all plan this? While I was on my mission? Asked Ino. The plan suddenly popped up in my mind that day when Sakura came to our ramen shop. Flashback. Yesterday. At Ichiraku Ramen. So it's about Sasuke, huh? Asked Naruto. Sakura's silence was enough to give him his answers. Look, tell me what it is, maybe I could help you. What did he do to you? He does nothing. And that is the problem. Naruto couldn't understand what she was saying, so he asked, he does nothing. Before he could ask, he was interrupted by Sakura's soft bang on the table. Since childhood, Naruto. I like him since childhood. I have been giving him hints for a long time now, but he can't even understand. Naruto was now on the verge to release a loud laugh, but he was trying his hard not to let it out. He knew how dense his friend was. I think I should give up now. Maybe he doesn't even like. This time it was Naruto to interrupt her. Oe, calm down, Sakura, don't say like that. Trust me, I know that he likes you too. Really? Did he said that to you? A ray of hope enlightened in her, but soon it was crushed. No, he never told me. Replied Naruto, to which Sakura gave out a sigh. But I know that he likes you. I have caught him many times staring at you. But if he never confesses, then a confession is what you need, right? Asked Naruto, interrupting Sakura. She nodded her head with a blush. Then just leave it to me, I have a plan, said Naruto. A plan? Asked Sakura. Naruto then gave a devilish smile to her as he began explaining her the plan. After some time, when Naruto finally explained her the plan, Sakura's face was painted in red. WHWH, what a ridiculous plan, this won't even work, she stuttered due to embarrassment. Just leave it to me. I just want you to act tomorrow same as you did when you entered the shop. Ignore him so that he could feel something is off. But you want a confession, right? You want it, right? Naruto was now really acting like villain as he glared at her. To his answer, she just simply nodded her head. Don't worry, meet me at the park in evening. I will call everyone else too, said Naruto. At Konoha Park. We have a problem, guys. It's about Sasuke. What happened to Sasuke? Asked Neji. Naruto then said them everything Sakura had told her earlier. So you are saying that you have a plan to make Sasuke confess? Asked Hinata, to which Naruto nodded in agreement. Explain us then, said Shikamaru as Naruto started to explain them the plan. Look, we all know that Sasuke likes Sakura. Only the thing is, we want him to confess it. Everyone nodded to his words as he continued. If we make him insecure, then he might say it. Everyone had a confused face, so he explained it more clearly. What if there comes another guy who tries to steal Sakura in front of him? The group looked at each other with a smile as they understood what Naruto was trying to say. But who would be that person? Asked Kiba, to which Naruto replied with smile. I have my shadow clone. Naruto made a hand sign and created an exact of himself. Everyone released a deep sigh with a sweat drop as they looked at his clone. Naruto was confused by such unsatisfying reaction of his friends, so he asked, what happened, guys? This person. Your clone will go and confess? Are you an idiot? Scolded Sakura. Of course I will change his looks to make him look different person. Do you think I don't have brain cells? Naruto fired back at her. That's true. There are just so many things that one could figure out it's you, said Hinata. Like what? Questioned Naruto. Your eyes. You are the only one with such beauty, I mean such blue-orange eyes, said Hinata with a flustered look. Also your long untamed hairs. You need to do something of it, said Kiba. Your whiskers are the most unique one. That is the first thing you need to take care of. Maybe you should cover it with paint marks like Kiba, suggested Shikamaru. Naruto was noting down all their points in his minds to picture a complete new look of himself. So now this is just the first part. Next is, we will plan a lunch tomorrow. It is Sunday, so I am free. So after the lunch my clone will come to the restaurant and confess Sakura in front of him. All of you act like it's shocker to you too. And after that we all will leave one by one, leaving only me and Sasuke. After that I will take care of things. Naruto finally finished explaining his plan. Everyone had no doubts on his plan as they all agreed on it. Sakura, you can leave now. Go home and rest, said Naruto. I have some time so I can stay. No, go home and prepare yourself mentally. You are the main character in tomorrow's play. Naruto grabbed Sakura by shoulders and pushed her to the exit. Fine, I am leaving. Bye. All of them bid her farewell. Naruto kept looking at Sakura, and soon as she was lost from his sight he gathered everyone to form a close circle. Listen guys, after we leave the restaurant we will regroup at the forest. And then as soon as they confess we will barge in. Naruto, Menma, Shikamaru and Kiba gave a devil laugh at the plan. Now you have proved that you are really a member of our group, said Menma. I am already feeling sorry for those two. But it will be interesting. Narumi also joined them in their devil laugh. Flashback ended. You made that plan after I left. Sakura was fuming with embarrassment and anger. Everyone had a heartful laugh at the story Naruto told, leaving an embarrassed Sasuke, who was center of attention of the group for now. All that happened just when I was out for one day? It would have been more fun if I were there, said Ino. You both are going to be the topic for today's sleepover, said Lee. Naruto, I am going to pay you back with this one day. Everyone laughed at the little threat of Uchiha. Alright everyone, do your hygiene and get settled down for dinner. Kushina went in the kitchen followed by Narumi and Menma, who went for her help. The rest of the night continued with lots of entertainment. After such a long time now that they all together came to the house, Kushina showed them the photo album of their childhood. The talks on memories and laughs on their silliness was never ending. They played games, had fun, had dinner together, and ignoring all the uncertainties happening in the world they enjoyed with no care. Right now boys and girls were in the separate room getting ready to sleep. In contrast to girls' room, which was still noisy with their laughs and chats, there was boys' room wherein everyone was already laying down quiet on their respective futon beside each other. With lights off and rolled up blankets, all of them were just staring at the ceiling of the room, hearing the girls' noise. Oe Sasuke, Menma was the first one to break the silence. The room was still quiet with only Menma and Sasuke speaking. Just the difference was that now everyone in the room was listening to their talk. You know, I could have arranged. No one was able to understand Menma's half sentences. Arranged what? Asked Sasuke. Arranged. As Menma extended it, the group was now getting really curious. Arranged. A separate room for you both. A moment of silence was shared in the room as the boys took time to understand it. And soon the room got bursted into laughter. Shut up, Sasuke blushed under his blanket just to get teased by everyone there. Ah, you are so lucky, Sasuke. You are the first one among us to get a girlfriend. So when are you taking your step? Neji's mention caught him off guard as he got all flustered. Hey, from where did I come? What, Neji is still single? I thought he intended. Naruto obviously said that to spice up the things. This guy got no guts to confess. Just wait for Naruto's clone to steal your girl. Lee's comment got everyone logging, but soon it was interrupted by Sasuke. Talking about Naruto. Isn't he getting too close to Hinata nowadays? Everyone looked at him with narrow eyes and cheeky smile and started teasing him, Naruto player hidden in shadows. Oe Sasuke, you are saying this just to get revenge on me, huh? Said Naruto, but his defense was suppressed by loud upraise by the group. Hinata, 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 they all shouted so loud that even girls in other room could hear them. Naruto tried to shut their mouth as he threw the pillow on Sasuke's face. How dare you hit my friend? Menma grabbed a pillow below his head and threw it on Naruto, and without even realizing it broke out into an all-out pillow fight. After a long exhausting fight of 15 minutes, all of them decided to finally sleep now. The room again went silent now, with Naruto being the only one awake. He never told or showed anyone, but past few days he has had only half sleeps. The dreams he was having would always cause him to shut up from his bed. He wanted to live his normal life with his friends, but he was afraid how would he change after he regains his memory. Taking a deep breath in, he closed his eyes, surrendering himself to his sleep. Naruto's dream. Flashback. 7 years ago. Naruto was sitting under a tree enjoying the nature around him. Burbling sound of waterfall accompanied by melodious singing of the birds and swift gentle winds was something he always enjoyed. Naruto. Oe Naruto. A deep sound that came close to him startled him. He looked behind to see a huge nine-tails fox looking straight at him. Oh, it's you, Nine-Tails. How many times have I told you to call me Kurama? Or from next time onwards I will call you, kid, instead of your name. Oh sorry Kurama. Hey Kurama, my name, Naruto, did you keep it? He asked. No, your name is kept by your parents. I know it because it was carved on your wrist ring. If you want to go find your family, then you must get strong here. Kurama. You are the one who raised me, right? Asked Naruto, to which Kurama nodded. Then you and me are family, right? Asked Naruto with a huge grin on his face. Kurama replied him with a soft smile as he indicated to come near him. Naruto ran towards him and climbed up on his head. Soon Kurama started walking somewhere. You are so tall, Kurama. I can see the whole forest. Naruto gawked at the scenery he was able to see from that height. Naruto, are you practicing the sand covering technique I told you? Asked Kurama. I am trying to do it, but it is so painful. Rubbing the sand over the body causes my skin to peel off. It hurts. Kurama could understand how tough it would be for a 12-year-old boy, but he had no choice. Listen Naruto, the sword I gave you is one that can cut through chakra. It once belonged to my master. No jutsu can affect you until you have that sword with you. But its demerit is, as it feeds upon your chakra, you can't use any jutsus. So you need to rely on your kenjutsu and taijutsu skills. Naruto couldn't understand why was Kurama telling him all this again, so he asked, what is the point though? What I am saying is, you will always get attacked from close range. Mostly taijutsu or kenjutsu itself. What if in future you are matched up with someone of similar strength? Then the one whose body can sustain more damage will win. That's why Naruto, you must do it. Because you are the key. Naruto nodded his head in agreement after listening to his lecture for 100th time. The ride on Kurama's head ended as they reached to their destination. They were at such height that even clouds were beneath them. Naruto had never seen such beautiful view before. The temperature was low, accompanied by strong winds. He in a look decided it to be his next hangout spot. I never knew there was such a place here. Naruto ran at the end of the cliff and looked down to see the never-ending space. Now remove your shirt. Naruto was confused by what Kurama just said to him. Remove your shirt, I said. You will practice your sage mode here. What? Sage mode? Over here? I need to be super still for sage mode, and being still in this shivering cold. Impossible. Naruto refused as hard as he could, but nothing was going to work against Kurama. More the difficulty, better you will become. Heh. Why are you making me do such hard practice? Complained Naruto as he took off his shirt and sat down to meditate. In future you might face a lot of challenges, Naruto. Fights that will decide the future of this world. Now that you talk about it. Last day you were going to tell me something about a shinobi, right? What was his name? Madara, said Naruto as he hit his fist on his palm. Oh yes, I didn't told you about him, right? So from where should I start? Naruto was waiting eagerly to listen to the story of the person Kurama would always mention. It goes back hundreds of years ago. The Earth was attacked by an alien species called Otsutsukis. Their motive was a complicated one for you to understand now, but in short the outcome was extinction of entire human species on Earth. But there was a person who saved the world, Sage of Six Paths. He sealed a horrifyingly vast amount of chakra inside him while he sealed Otsutsuki's inside a very strong barrier, but he knew that it would weaken along the time. His seal was not perfect because he casted it immediately after his battle in exhausted condition. This resulted in secretion of a special kind of chakra which was actually an only power to break the seal. Due to the sage already sealed large amount of chakra in him, he decided to seal this special chakra in his elder son Indra, unaware by the fact that it was actually something that could be used to break the seal. This special chakra gave birth to a special dujutsu called Sharingan, and the Uchihas. Sage lived a very long life due to his extreme life force. Till then many generations of Uchihas already had passed, causing this special chakra to multiply. By the time Sage realized this, he was already on the verge of death. He split the chakra sealed inside of him in 9 parts. These 9 parts of chakra are nothing but us, the tailed beasts. In his last breath he wrote something on a stone tablet which only a very strong dujutsu could decipher. He believed that someday there would come a person who will understand and correct his mistake. And that person did come. His name was Madara Uchiha. When he read it, he decided to annihilate his whole clan along with himself so that he could stop the multiplication of this special chakra. But the one who stood between his path was his very own best friend Hashirama Senju, and in the end Madara was defeated. Madara was called a traitor, a madman, a psycho, but if Madara would have completed what he intended to do, he would have saved the world. But he never gave up. He formed a group of like-minded people to carry his mission, the Akatsuki. But now in present there is no use in killing Uchihas because the chakra has already multiplied enough. Killing them now would cause no effect. There has to be some other way to stop them. Remember this, Naruto. What Madara did was not wrong. The seal will get weakest after 7 to 8 years. By that time you will be 19. Naruto. You are the key. Flashback ended. Naruto shot up from his futon like every other night. But this time something was different. He was not sweating like he used to, neither he screamed when he woke up. Also the dream he had today was not blur. But as clear as if he was living in it. This is not dream. This is my memory. I remember everything now. I have lived it. That forest. That meditation point. That sage mode practice. That sand covering technique. I remember everything. Hinata was right. These are my memories, not dreams. I just can't remember what happened on the last night. The night after which I forgot everything. Kurama was right about everything. And I used to think that he was saying that to make me practice. I was so naive. By that time I will be 19 feet, that means. This is the year he was talking about. Few weeks later, what Naruto feared the most came true. He was changed after regaining his memories. He could no longer enjoy the talks with his friends. What to do? Where to go? From where to start? Was all that he could think of. Now that he was the only person who knows what is about to come, he could no longer just live a life of simple villager. Everyone around him were very well aware of the sudden change in Naruto. He had started to go for practice early morning and would always return covered in blood, rigorous physical training, push-ups, pull-ups, sword training, and the list would just go on. Ever since after that dream he had started to practice his sage mode meditation on top of a mountain in Konoha. He thought the place was quiet and peaceful, but he was unaware that he was always been followed by 2 blonde siblings. Konoha Mountain. A.N. Imagine this, the place where he practiced sage mode. Look, there he is again meditating, whispered Menma. Both Menma and Narumi had been following him since day 1. They were shocked when they saw that Naruto also practiced sage mode but never asked him. Today they were finally going to ask him. I wonder if he has mastered sage mode. Even we haven't mastered it yet. Narumi and Menma both looked at him for a while, but then they decided to finally go and ask him. As they went near him they saw how defined muscular body Naruto had. They sat next to him, but Naruto didn't seem to notice them. So quiet that can't even hear him breathing. That is some level of concentration, said Menma. They both waited for Naruto to finish and soon Naruto started to open his eyes. Oh, when did you both come here? As Naruto looked at them, they both were left awestruck. Currently being on Sage mode, his eyes had completely changed. There was not even a single hint of blue. Is that perfect Sage mode? Those eyes. It has to be it, both of them had heard about it from their father. Perfect Sage mode. A feat even their master Jiraiya couldn't achieve. And Naruto, when did you master the Sage mode? Asked Narumi. I just happened to know this. Naruto knew that he couldn't reveal anything to them right now. Both of them then noticed a wooden bucket filled with sand placed next to him. What is that? Asked Menma. Oh, that? It's hot sand bucket. When you rub your skin against it, your skin starts to peel off and start becoming thicker. Doing it again and again makes your body hard. I usually rub sand over my whole body, but today I am just doing it with my fists. Both of them had stars in there as they heard it. Both siblings were very curious when it comes to new techniques which they never tried or heard. So if we rub it against our whole body, our body will get hard? Asked Menma, to which Naruto nodded. Well, I am not going to do it over my whole body. I am a girl, my skin should be soft, said Narumi, to which Menma and Naruto had sweat drop. But it's okay if I do it just to fist, right? Asked Narumi as Naruto nodded in agreement. Then will you please let us do it? Asked Narumi and Menma in unison. Naruto knew how incredibly painful this exercise was. He wanted to deny them, but their starstruck sparkling eyes were hypnotizing for him. It's TT2 defeat, he just couldn't deny those eyes. He didn't know why, but he felt like it was a request made by small siblings. Fine, go ahead. Narumi and Menma soon pulled the bucket in front of him and got ready to submerge their hand in the sand. Now slowly press your fists inside the sand and rub against it. Both of them followed Naruto's instructions and submerged their fists inside the sand, but as soon as their hands made contact with hot sand, they pulled it back. It's hot, murmured Narumi. You can't even put your hands inside. Leave alone rubbing against sand, said Naruto. But it's hot. Just wait now, this time we won't pull off. Menma and Narumi again put their hands inside the sand, and this time they stuck to it. Now gently rub your fists. Both siblings started to rub their fists, and within a few seconds they understood just how painful it is. Suppressing the tears forming in their eyes due to pain, both siblings continued the exercise. They wanted to scream, but their pride was not allowing them to. This pain is something else. I have been injured and cut countless times, but this is just unbearable. To think this man does it to whole body. Just who is he? Menma couldn't help but wonder why a cook needs to train like this. Akatsuki hideout. The group of 6 shinobis wearing a black cloak with red clouds prints were standing in front of 2 graves as they paid their respect to their fallen comrades. So this was our first step towards success, huh? Konan couldn't stop the tears trailing down from her eyes. One day all of us have to go the same way. We have been burdened with a cruel fate, but we must deliver what we have to. Gather yourself. Crying will dishonor their sacrifices. Nagato, pain. The leader of Akatsuki tried to support the group's morale, but his hoarse voice clearly showed how hurt he himself was. So, it's time for 3 tails and 4 tails, right? Asked Kakuzu. Yeah, we must hurry up and get all of them. The 3 tails and 4 tails chakra scroll is in Kumogakure. Kakuzu, you and Crow will be going for this mission. The Crow will meet you there directly, said Nagato. After the mission was given, Kakuzu had a small smile plastered on his face. A smile of relief. A smile of freedom. So you are leaving us too, huh? We had a great time together, Kakuzu. I wish we could keep living like this, said Hidan as he hugged him, followed by everyone. At Konohagakure, Hokage office. Are you sure about this intel, Itachi? Yeah, I am pretty sure about this. The Crow and one of the Akatsuki member is going to attack Kumogakure to get the chakra scroll they have. The atmosphere was tense in the Hokage office as the group of Anbu shinobis led by Itachi debriefed in intel to Minato. I will have it informed to substitute Hokage of Kumo. Itachi, what is your view on it? Asked Minato. I guess I should go for Kumogakure's aide, Hokage-sama. If it's true that the Crow is going to be there this time, then only one who can stop his Amaterasu is me. Minato agreed to Itachi's words. Currently Itachi was the only one known to have an ability in his Sharingan to stop the Amaterasu, the most powerful attack of the Crow. In such situations, sending Itachi would give us an upper hand, was what Minato thought as he allowed Itachi to go to the mission. As Itachi stepped out of the Hokage tower, he saw his brother Sasuke waiting for him. "What are you doing here, Sasuke?" "I heard it, Itachi-san." Itachi understood that Sasuke has listened his talk with Hokage, so he decided to stay quiet. "Last time he beat you up pretty bad, Ni-san. Are you sure about going alone?" "Don't worry, Sasuke. This time I will surely equal the score," said Itachi. "Ni-san, you must kill him. You must avenge Shisui, Ni-san." Both brothers looked at each other with same determined eyes. "This time surely, Sasuke. I will kill him." At Kumogakure, the troops of Kumogakure were already deployed at the borders of the village. With Killer Bee as their head, they stood with their utmost confidence waiting for the two Akatsukis to come. The security inside the village was rather weak, as their most skilled and powerful shinobis were assigned to guard the Kumo shrine where the 3 tails and 4 tails chakra scrolls were kept. Kumogakure's substitute cage was also present inside the shrine to protect it. At borders, the troop waited and waited for hours for the intruders, but all they could see was an empty vast space. "Is the intel given by Hokage even correct? I don't think anyone will be coming," said a shinobi as he started yawning, but soon another shinobi said something which caught their attention. "Gee guys, I guess there they are." All the shinobis at the border along with Killer Bee took their position. The alarm in the village also set off, alerting everyone inside. Look at them. They are just 2, but look how they are walking, as if they fear nothing. The pressure that the crow and Kakuzu exerted on these shinobis was causing them to gulp in fear. Some of them even started to step back. "Why are you all so afraid? If you steal back, then who will protect the people of the village? They are 2 and we are hundreds. There is no way we will lose." Killer Bee's words gave the shinobis some encouragement, as now they stood firm at their position. "Kakuzu, I want this to be over quickly, or else things will get difficult for me. You understand what I mean, right?" Kakuzu nodded at Crow's words, and soon he noticed Crow's eye pattern change. "So you are using it, huh? Don't worry, I will get those scrolls quickly. I don't think I will be able to stall them for long. So make it quick, Susanoo." The morale and courage which the shinobis built was trashed by the huge Susanoo of the Crow. "SSS Susanoo. Can we defeat it?" murmured shinobis in fear as the shadow of the Susanoo covered the whole area. In a moment the battle at the border began. One could tell how intensive the battle was just by the shockwaves it produced. Bangs and change in air pressure caused by explosion were adding more to it. At Kumo Shrine, the battle at the border has begun, and they are crushing us with their Susanoo, said a shinobi as he barged inside. "Susanoo, so it is indeed the Crow." The sweat formed on their cage's face was demoralizing for the shinobis around him. "Hold until Itachi Uchiha of the Leaf arrives. He is the only one who can defeat him." Before the cage could say further, the place around him lit up in explosion, causing him to flinch. In an instant the mighty walls of the shrine were turned into dust. "Sorry, substitute cage of Kumogakure, but I am in hurry. My friend is fighting for me outside. Oh, I almost forgot that I am ordered to kill you too." The cage looked behind to see the speaker of the words, and as soon as he looked at him his eyes filled with fear. Akatsuki. At Fumo Clan. A.N. There exists no Fumo Clan in Naruto, it is just my made-up name I have added in my fanfic to support my story. It's been a month since we visited Konoha, it's such a beautiful place. When will I get a chance again to see that handsome face and beautiful eyes again? Naruto. Shion walked through the hallway with smile and blush plastered on her face. Soon her thoughts were disturbed by a strange voice that came from her brother's room. She wanted to ignore it, but the voice seemed to be so familiar that she couldn't help but eavesdrop. "Akatsuki has become a real threat to our plan. They already have 1 and 2 tails chakra scrolls, and now they're trying to get the rest too." Akatsuki is indeed a group of most powerful shinobis," said the prince of Fumo Clan. "So, is my duplicate ready? It will take 1 more week. You know how hard it is to make a duplicate. I want my duplicate to be the best one among the ones you had previously made. No one should be able to distinguish between me and him. Don't worry, I bet even your mother won't be able to distinguish. Now come to the main point. Have you talked to Hiyashi-sama about our marriage? I can't wait anymore now. You were rejected once, so it will be a difficult task. I don't care. This is your lookout. I want Hinata to be mine, you understand that?" Prince's talks were loud enough to slip through the room. "Until Minato is the Hokage it is not possible. But don't worry, I am already done with the arrangements. With this the talk between the prince and the unknown person ended. Shion couldn't believe her ears. She wanted to scream out her lungs but she tried her best to keep shut. Soon she heard her brother's voice again. Prince was lying on his bed with a photo frame in his hands. "Hinata. What a beauty. Your lavender eyes, your silky dark blue hairs, oh my. You are the only one worthy to be my princess, but you rejected me. I, who became a sinner for you. I, who did the lowest of ill works for you. I, who killed my parents and sold out my clan's dignity for you. But you will eventually become mine, Hinata. Your lips will belong to me, my hands will explore every part of your body." Your prince's fantasies came to an end as he heard a loud gasp outside his room. Who is there? Shion pressed her hands against her mouth as she let out the gasp. She was very well aware that Prince has heard her. She wanted to run but her whole body was so shaken to core that her legs won't move. After her brother's true identity, a monster hidden behind the mask was revealed, her eyes filled with fear. Soon a click sound of opening of door was heard as she hesitantly turned to look at her brother. Her pale face, shaking legs and sweat clearly visible on her face was enough to indicate the prince that his talks has been heard. "Oh my little sister, what have you done? Eavesdropping on someone's conversation is a bad habit, isn't it? So now you should be punished accordingly." 1 week late, at Akatsuki hideout, it was all covered in darkness inside the cave with a dull and dense atmosphere. Accompanied by an absolute silence, one could hear nothing but mourns of the shinobis inside. All 4 of the Akatsukis were standing in front of the 4 graves of their dear comrades with no thinned but memories swirling in front of their eyes. "I never thought it would be so tough. Even though countless times reminding our heart of inevitable outcome, you still can't help but shed tears," said Conan. "The only thing to worry about is Nine-Tails' chakra scroll. We need to find the key before he finds it." Pain very well knew that crying right now would just slower their pace, so he tried to disrupt the sad flow of conversation. For a group leader, he can't let his comrades' sacrifices go in vain. Right now he was heavily burdened by hopes of his fallen friends and he knew the number will be increasing, but all he could do was stay strong. Jiraiya-sensei said that Hokage's son is the key. "But Nagato, you said that Menma isn't the key." Conan's question was the whole Akatsuki's question. All these years they have been trying to find the key, but all they have met is failure. Menma is not the key. The chakra capacity he has. There is no way he could nest chakra as vast as Nine-Tails. But this is truly a puzzle left behind by Sensei. I trust the prophecy he left, but Menma is not the one. Only if Hokage has another son, right? Interrupted Hidan. The conversation went silent. Nagato was in a great dilemma. He had to make a huge choice. Whether to trust his master's words or to rely on his instincts. "I will trust Jiraiya-sensei's words. I had already distrusted on him once and it costed his life. I won't make that mistake again." In Konohagakure, at Namikaze house, "We will be leaving Ka-san," said Narumi as she and Menma hung the bag on their back. Narumi and Menma both were ordered to visit Mount Myoboku for their sage training by their father Minato. It was not only for purpose of sage training but also for preparing Menma to be able to nest Nine-Tails chakra. "You both do your best, all right." Kushina with a cheerful smile gave both of them a hug. "Naruto hasn't come yet, huh?" Menma looked at the exit of the house searching for Naruto. "That guy is a maniac, he won't return soon. Like who in their right mind does that rigorous exercise? My knuckles are paining so much that I can't even make a fist," complained Narumi. "Ka-san, has Naruto ever said you why he is doing training nowadays?" asked Menma. "Well, he hasn't said me anything, but maybe he wants to apply to be a shinobi. After all, his friends are all shinobis, so he must be feeling left out," replied Kushina. "I smell something fishy though. Believe me, Ka-san, I can sense a very strong aura from him. That guy is already at Jonin level." Over these days Menma had grown more suspicious to Naruto. Watching his physical abilities and training, he couldn't help but think why a simple guy needs to do such training. With an expressionless face, Menma started walking out of the house followed by Narumi. "Bye, do your best," said Kushina as she bid them farewell. 30 minutes later, Naruto had just arrived from his practice and just like every day he did his hygiene and went in the kitchen to help Kushina. "Sorry Kushina-san, I got late today." Naruto without wasting any time started to wash the dishes. "Oh, don't worry, it's okay," she said. Naruto was quite amazed how both siblings didn't come in the kitchen to interrupt them, so he asked, "What happened to Narumi and Menma? Did they go somewhere? They didn't told you? Both of them have gone to Mount Myoboku for sage training and will be there for a week. Finally the home will be quiet for a week." Both of them shared the laugh together and continued their work. Just then Kushina noticed bandage tape all over Naruto's hands, suddenly making her remember Menma's words, "Ka-san. Has Naruto ever told you why he is doing training nowadays?" Thinking this to be the right time, she asked, "Naruto, why have you suddenly started to train nowadays? That too so brutal, look at your hands." Her question made Naruto silent as he thought of the best answer he could say. For Naruto, Kushina was like a mother figure to which he could never lie. So he came up with an answer which was not a lie and yet could give out nothing. "There is nothing we could say about future. As the things stand, anything might happen in coming days, and for that even I should be prepared with. I must be able to protect those I hold dear. Also, if I stay weak, how would I be able to fulfill my promise to always look over Narumi and Menma and protect them?" Naruto replied Kushina with a very sincere tone with his signature grin. Kushina was left gawking at Naruto's smile as she was able to picture Minato behind that grin of his. "Look at that smile, Minato, that's a copy of yours. Minato, when will you accept Naruto?" The talk continued for a while and finally Naruto was finished with his work in kitchen. "Kushina-san, I am leaving for my job now or Tuchi-san will give me an earful." With this Naruto rushed out of the house. Kushina notices that Naruto has left his sword in the hall as she tried to call him, "Naruto, you forgot your sword." He is already gone. This the first time that he left his sword alone. Now that Kushina finally had some free time to spare, she decided to go to the balcony of the top room and enjoy some tea. "It's been a while since I last time had tea with some privacy," she thought while looking at the view from balcony. Just when she was having her comfortable time alone, she sensed someone behind her. At first she ignored it, but slowly it started to become more suspicious. "Who is there?" Her voice was suppressed by a huge hand of an unknown shinobi with white cloak. When she looked around her, she realized that she was surrounded by a number of them. Before she could perform any jutsu or even think about it, she was knocked down cold by the shinobi. "Let's take her. I will go and let Hokage know about it." With a smirk, the shinobi vanished in thin air while the rest of the group carried her out of the village. At Ichiraku ramen shop. "Sorry for being late." With an exhausted tone, Naruto barged inside the shop. "Oh Naruto, just on time. You have a delivery to make," said Tuchi as he handed him the lunchbox. "Delivery? This early in the day? Who is it?" he asked. "It's for Hokage-sama. Even yesterday late at night he had ordered the same thing," said Tuchi. "Oh, he has not returned home too. Being Hokage must be tough, right? Finner, I will deliver it to him." With this Naruto left on his way to Hokage office. At Hokage office. "Ah, such a pain. Things are getting heated up these days and instead of forming a battle plan here I am doing these paperworks. I haven't even slept last night and there is still a lot left." Soon Minato was snapped out of his thoughts as he heard a knock on his door. "Come in." As soon as the door opened, the aroma of ramen eased up Minato. "Oh, I have been waiting for this," murmured Minato. Seeing so many papers piled up and Minato's bloodshot eyes due to no sleep was enough for Naruto to know how tough it was. "Hokage-sama, here is your order." Without wasting a moment, Minato started to open the lunchbox, but he was interrupted by a dark shadow that was being casted on his table. He understood that there is someone on the window, but he ignored it, thinking as it might be Kakashi. Naruto, who was able to see the white-cloaked person clearly standing at the window, felt an uneasy air around him, so he asked, "Hokage-sama, who is he?" "He must Kakashi. How many times have I told you to come through?" Minato's eyes widened as he looked behind to see an unknown figure standing at the window. "Minato Namikaze. I have something to show you." From his tone both of them understood that something was not right. "Who are you?" asked Minato. "Is that important?" The white-cloaked shinobi unclosed his fists to drop some reddish-pink hair strands on the ground. This shocked both Naruto and Minato as it took them no time to identify whose hairs it was. The room went silent with nothing but fear and worry in both of their eyes. "Kushina. What did you do to her?" Minato charged at him with Rasengan, but the intruder's next words stopped him. "Kushina has been taken out of the village. What do you think we will do with her?" "Well, if I were you I wouldn't waste my time fighting here. Hokage-sama, leave him to me. Go and save Kushina-san." Naruto dashed onto the shinobi off the window, making him fall on the ground along with him. This attracted a lot of crowd nearby, but Minato ignored it and rushed towards the forest. A restaurant delivery boy trying to fight me. Are you underestimating me? Shinobi smirked under his cloak. A delivery boy, huh? It's you who is underestimating me. At Konoha Forest, the group of white-cloaked shinobis were sitting on the tree branch while they had placed Kushina on the ground. Is Hokage even going to? Before the shinobi could say anything, his throat was cut in half. The rest of the group stood up from their seat, taking their fighting stance. How dare you try to touch her? I am going to kill you. Minato mentally counted the number of shinobis standing on each bark of the tree and on the land. There are a lot of them. How did so many pass through the barrier? Soon Minato's yellow dance began. One after another he sliced through every shinobi like piece of cake, but he could sense something was wrong. Why are they not even fighting back? It's like I am simply chasing a path. Wait, a path. Are they trying to lure me? Before Minato could escape, he was already caught inside a trap. His legs were so stuck on the ground like it was a parted. He looked around himself to see himself standing in middle of a mysterious pattern. Soon he saw some white-cloaked shinobis forming a circle around him. There is no point in studying your situation. I can't move my legs, but I can still move my hands. Rock style. Cannon strike. Minato was left shocked as his jutsu didn't happen. It's over for you, Hokage. Chakra gets neutralized here. This is a secret jutsu which is not from this world. You can also say it is not even a jutsu. Now then, rest in peace. Otsutsuki clan secret jutsu. The group said in unison as they joined their hands together as if they were praying something. The pattern around Minato got activated. A loud scream escaped from Minato's mouth as he went through the extreme pain. My mind feels like it's going to burst. My whole body is boiling and my bones, they're being thoroughly crushed. This torture continued for a while and now Minato didn't even have energy to scream. One more minute and he will be dead, murmured the group leader. The group was silently watching the process going on, but soon a huge fireball came flying towards them, causing them to scatter around. The fireball caused a lot of smoke, and as soon as it was cleared, the group noticed that Minato was not inside their pattern. They looked around to see a blonde boy carrying Kushina on his one arm while Minato on his other. Naruto, how is Kushina? Even in his worst condition, Minato managed to utter some words. Though barely audible, Naruto could understand what he wanted to ask. Don't worry, Hokage-sama, Kushina-san is just unconscious, she must be knocked down pretty hard. After hearing his words, Minato gave a weak smile as he closed his eyes and got fainted. If he wouldn't have interrupted, then Minato would have been dead already. You're going to pay for this. With this, the group of white-cloaked shinobis attacked Naruto. What a cruel luck. This had to happen just when I forgot my sword in the home. Naruto was able to fight the group as best as he could, but the overwhelming numbers of them clearly gave him disadvantage. Naruto tried to engage with them in a close combat, but the enemies were clever. Being in the worst situation he possibly could, with all odds against him, there was a slight gap of strength between him and the enemies, but that gap started to widen as the fight continued. And without even realizing, Naruto was on his knees. He could already see the outcome of this battle, but he tried to hold them until the reinforcement arrived. Even though he wanted to get up and fight, he was not able to move his legs. Please, a little more. Naruto tried to infuse chakra, but his eyes widened in shock as he could sense no chakra left. What? My chakra is depleted already? Is this the demerit of constantly being taxed by the sword? The helplessness was consuming Naruto. He banged his fists on the ground in frustration as he released a loud scream. And then a sudden burst of chakra exploded through Naruto's body, releasing shockwaves all over the place. His body temperature was increasing at an alarming rate, his eyes were turning red, his nails were growing into a claw and his whiskers were getting more detailed. What is this power? Suddenly I feel like I can destroy everything. I don't know what this is, but I will use it. Fire style. Flamethrower. An explosive shot of high-velocity flames were directed towards the group, causing a huge explosion, shaking the whole ground. After this attack, the red chakra around him disappeared. His eyes along with his other furors turned normal. He felt like his whole energy has been drained out of him. Fatigue slowly consuming him, Naruto lied on his stomach. Soon when he was about to close his eyes he saw 6 white-cloaked shinobis walking towards him. This was the first time Naruto felt so scared in his life. He was scared not for his life but for 2 parent figures lying close to him. Even in his state he weakly placed his hand in front of Kushina trying to protect her. "Don't go on scaring us like that," said the shinobi as he walked with a devilish smirk. Shinra Tensei. In a moment the white-cloaked shinobis were blown back with a monstrously powerful push. It was so powerful that even some trees around got uprooted. As the powerful gust of wind caused by the attack passed through him he could feel the power of that attack. If that attack was directed at me then I would have been blown miles away. Who in the world can possess such powers? Lying on the ground with his one eye opened he waited for dust to clear so that he could see that person. As the dust cleared Naruto could see the back of 2 shinobis wearing a black cloak with red clouds printed on it. One of them was a female with blue-colored hairs and other was a man with red-colored hairs. Akatsuki. They saved us? Naruto weakly murmured to himself. Madara could have saved the world. But he never gave up. He created a group of like-minded people, the Akatsuki. Remember this Naruto. Madara was never wrong. Kurama's words were the last thing that swirled around his mind with which he surrendered himself to exhaustion. Nagato and Konan both were looking at fallen Naruto with wide eyes and sweat forming up. They looked at each other to confirm their thoughts. Nagato. Is that boy? His chakra right now, said Konan. Yeah, there is no mistake about it. That was Nine-Tails' chakra. That boy. He is the key. Nagato's expression was like a pirate who has finally found the treasure he was searching for his whole life. Who would have thought we would find the key so unexpectedly? We must take him to the base, Nagato. We can finally proceed further. Konan walked towards the unconscious Naruto but she was stopped by Nagato. The reinforcement is coming, Konan, we must leave. Also he is injured so let him get treated in the village first. But what about him? We won't get another chance to get him, said Konan. We will leave it to Ghost. Ghost will bring him. Nagato was interrupted by loud voices of the shinobis who were charging at them. They are already here. Hurry up, let's leave. Look, it's Akatsuki. Don't let them run. Their black cloak was the last thing Konoha shinobis saw before both the Akatsukis disappeared with no trace. Their condition looks serious. Take them to the hospital quick, ordered Itachi. At Akatsuki hideout. What? You found the key? Weren't you going to Konoha because we got an intel that Hokage might be in danger? Asked Hidan. Yeah, we went there to save the Hokage but they had already arrived before us. Luckily there was this boy who saved him. He is a yellow-haired boy who seemed to be of around same age as Menma and Narumi. Replied Konan. According to Jiraiya Sensei's prophecy only Hokage's child could nest Nine-Tails chakra. So how can that guy have it? I think Sensei's prophecy was somewhat wrong, said Nagato, making everyone silent. Ghost told me that there was a new boy named Naruto that had just arrived in the village. He also said that Hokage's wife has a special attachment towards him. Said Kisame. For the key to be such a mysterious guy with no background, there is no way that he knows about Naruto. Said Konan. It's good that we found the key before him. Now we can finally move to the second stage. The path from now on is going to be the harshest one. At Konoha Hospital, the news of today's incident spread like a forest fire. Within a few hours of the incident, entire world knew about today's ambush. It was night time. Among the 3 injured ones, Naruto was the only one who came back to consciousness. Minato, who was the most injured one, was on the bed next to his wife. Kushina was not physically injured but due to some reason she was still unconscious. Medical ninjas were astonished by seeing the recovery rate of Naruto. The injuries on him were enough to put a healthy shinobi on the bed for a day, but Naruto's wounds healed within a few hours. Right now Naruto was sitting on the bed with his legs spread straight underneath a blanket. Ever since he has woken up he has been thinking of only one thing: why did Akatsuki save them? Also Kurama's words, which at first were confusing for him, had now started to get clear. Ka-san, Tu-san. Naruto was snapped out of his thoughts by 2 blonde siblings who had recklessly barged inside the room. As soon as Menma and Narumi got the news they wasted no time and rushed back to the village. Both of them were tear-filled looking at the state of their parents. How did it happen, Naruto? Asked Menma. For Tu-san to be in such bad state, it has to be Akatsuki. No, it wasn't Akatsuki. Naruto's quick response shocked both of them. It were some white-cloaked shinobis. They were powerful, too powerful. Minato-sama took down more than half of them, but their numbers were too much. Naruto went on explaining today's events to both of them. The rage was clearly visible in both of their eyes after listening the story. Such a coward move. Kidnapping Ka-san to lure Tu-san in their trap. Narumi clenched her fists. Soon a nurse walked into the room, catching everyone's attention. Is Tu-san and Ka-san fine? They are fine, right? Till when will they recover? Narumi and Menma bombarded the nurse with questions. Do not worry about Kushina-san. She has no physical or internal damage. Once she regains her consciousness, she will be good to go. Nurse's words somewhat relieved their worry. And Tu-san? He is good, right? As soon as Narumi asked the question, they noticed how Nurse's face went down. Oe, tell me, what happened to him? Oe. Soon Tsunade entered the room with some papers in her hands. Her face fell down when she saw Narumi and Menma were also present. How can I tell them? Are they ready to hear this? Menma and Narumi ran towards Tsunade and asked the same questions they asked to Nurse. Minato, temporarily can't be Hokage. Tsunade's made both of them pale. They couldn't believe what they just heard. Multiple rib injuries, lot of blood loss, his forearm bones are crushed like powder. It took me all I had to fix his arms, but still it will take more than a month to recover. Narumi and Menma landed on the chair in shock. Tears that were filled with anger trailed down their eyes. And, continued Tsunade, which caused the siblings to think, there is still something left. There has been inflicted a very tremendous amount of damage on Minato's core. This damage is internal. Chakra is infused in the body from the core. And because his core is almost destroyed, he can never infuse chakra now. The chakra left in him is all he has. Narumi and Menma had no expression on their face. It was like they were a dead body made to sit with their eyes open. They couldn't even imagine that the situation would go so extreme. Thanks to Naruto, who got there and saved Minato in time. Or else who knows what would have happened. With this, Tsunade placed the reports in Nurse's hand and left. Thank you, Naruto. Menma and Narumi bowed down to Naruto, but he stopped them. Idiots, what are you doing? Don't thank me. If you wouldn't have reached there on time then. Only if we were there too. Narumi's regret could be clearly seen in her words. The room remained silently for a while. There was something bugging Naruto. A question whose answer would clear everything for Naruto. He wanted to ask it for days, but he would always stop himself. But things were going too dangerous now. Today's incident clearly showed him that his time is running away and he has to do something. So gathering a lot of courage, he finally ended the silence. Menma, Narumi. Can you tell me more about Akatsuki? Both of them snapped out of their mourns with a confused face. Why sudden interest in Akatsuki? Naruto, did something happen involving them today? Tell me the truth, Naruto, said Menma. I don't think you will believe it or not, but when I was on the verge of collapsing in the battle, I thought nothing but about safety of Minato-sama and Kushina-san. The enemies were coming at me and they wanted Minato-sama's death. Right when they were about to do something, they were blown away by Akatsuki. All of them killed in a single hit. Akatsuki. They saved us. This made me to think, is Akatsuki really evil? Enough, Naruto. Menma interrupted Naruto with his loud-pitched voice. You don't know anything, Naruto. The Akatsuki. They must have killed them so that they could get Tu-san for their good. Don't ever talk about Akatsuki in front of me, and don't you dare to think if Akatsuki is good. You have seen nothing. Menma ni-san, calm down. It's not his fault to think like that provided the situation he was in, said Narumi. Narumi, I will be leaving now. Naruto, take care of yourself. With this, Menma left the room. Looks like I made him upset, said Naruto. Don't ever talk about Akatsuki in front of Ni-san or Sasuke. They both have lost their close ones due to them. Continued Narumi. Let me tell you about it, Naruto. 7 years ago, Akatsuki killed our master Jiraiya-sensei. He was not just our master but more like our friend. Jiraiya-sensei was particularly closer to Menma. He would always go traveling for his perverted research and would force Menma tag along with him. They both must have shared a lot of good memories together. When Jiraiya-sensei was killed, we all were shocked and Menma's condition got worse after hearing the news. We all have our different reasons to seek revenge against Akatsuki. Even Sasuke lost his brother, like figure Shisui-san. Itachi-san always being busy in his work. It was Shisui-san who taught Sasuke about jutsus and trained him. Itachi-san is like an elder brother he respects, but Shisui-san was like a friend with whom he shared most of his things. That is why I said Naruto. Don't talk about Akatsuki in front of them. Learning from past of their friends, Naruto understood that talking about Akatsuki in front of them was impossible and useless. So, I am sorry to ask this, but now that Minato-sama is temporarily not the Hokage, who will take his place as substitute Hokage? Asked Naruto. If Jiraiya-sensei would have been alive, then it would have been him. But right now the one who would be the substitute Hokage is Danzo. He is the most experienced shinobi in the village, and he also has support from elders Kaharu-sama and Homura-sama. Also he has the support from Uchiha clan, so there is no doubt that it would be him. Danzo, huh? I have heard his name a few times from Minato-sama. One day later. A day passed after the incident. Narumi and Menma were happy as their mother and father both had regained her consciousness, but a sad atmosphere caused by Minato's condition enveloped the entire village. Minato was to be stayed admitted for a few more weeks until he could walk again. Even after Danzo was now the substitute Hokage, the villagers couldn't feel the same security as they enjoyed before. Naruto resumed to work at the ramen shop after he was allowed to discharge. It was evening time and Naruto was alone in the shop. Evening was the only time in the day when the shop would be vacant because of no customers. It was an odd time to eat ramen, so no one would usually come, and considering this, Ayame and Tucci had left the shop in Naruto's care while they take some rest. Naruto was bored sitting with no work as he started yawning. Just when he was about to close his eyes, he saw a very rare customer walk in. Welcome, what would you like? Naruto, there is something important I need to talk to you. Will you please come out for a moment? Seeing the expression on the person's face, Naruto understood that it must be something of utmost importance. Without wasting any time, he walked out of the shop and both of them went to an isolated area. Now listen to me very carefully, Naruto. I am going to tell you everything about Akatsuki and its motives. As a former member of Akatsuki, the ghost, I will give you every information I know and you will make your decision. Nighttime. Hyuga house. It has been weeks since Hinata had borrowed Naruto's sweater. Every other day her mind would instruct her to return it, but her heart would refuse it. She was in her room, ready to sleep. She thought to have a look at the item she had borrowed. She turned on her lights and slowly pulled the drawer in which she had kept it. She gently placed it in her hands and caressed it. By now she had mentally accepted her feelings for Naruto and that she has fallen for him. Just when she was enjoying her moments caressing the scarf, she felt that someone was watching her. "Nei-san, till when are you going to keep staring at it?" Hinata got flustered as she looked behind to see her sister peeking through door. She mentally cursed her for forgetting to close the door. "Hanabi, what are you doing here? I was just passing by when I saw the door open. I hope I didn't disturb you." A chuckle escaped her mouth as she finished saying it. "No, I was just. Hinata was stuck in making up an excuse, but she was cut off by Hanabi. "Now don't try to hide it from me. I know whose scarf it is." "Nei-san, when will you accept it?" "Accept what?" asked Hinata. "Accept that you like him." Hinata yelped in embarrassment at Hanabi's words as she placed her hands over her red burning face trying to hide it. Hanabi smiled at her antics as she walked closer to her. "You know, Nei-san, today I saw a girl asking out Naruto for date." Hinata's ears perked at it. She quickly removed her hands from her face and asked, "What did Naruto said?" "He politely refused it," Hanabi replied. Hinata released a deep sigh of relief after she heard it. "You seem to be happy about it?" Hanabi was using every method to tease her elder sister and she was enjoying every moment of it. No, it's not like I am happy that he refused her. Till when are you going to lie about it? If you keep doing this, someday that Shein girl would take him away from you," said Hanabi. Hinata's face suddenly changed as she was hit to the realization. Just the thought of losing him to someone else was making her heart crack in pieces. "No, I like him," said Hinata with a blush. "See? It was easy, right? Tell this to him just like you said it to me." "Fool, telling it to someone else and confessing it to actual person is totally different," said Hinata. If you can't tell him, then write it to him." Hinata quickly understood what Hanabi was trying to tell her. "Love letter," she exclaimed. 5 minutes later, Hinata was ready with a dip pen in her hands and a piece of paper on the table. It's been a minute already, but Hinata was just staring at the blank paper while making her confession words in her mind. Are you going to stand here for the whole time? Asked Hinata, looking at the smiling Hanabi who was waiting for her to write something. Yeah, let me see what you write, she replied. Stupid girl, it's a love letter, why the hell do you want to read it? Also, how would I write my feelings when I have a third person watching it? Hinata dragged Hanabi out of her room and shut the door on her face. Hanabi retaliated for a while by banging the door to open, but in the end she surrendered and walked back to her room. In a minute Hinata's desk was filled with number of waste paper balls. This is tougher than I imagined. A love letter, huh? Next day. Namikaze house. It was a bright winter morning today. The daily lifestyle of the house resumed after things started to cool down. The only one unusual today was Naruto. He was already late for his work, but he didn't seem to bother as he kept chatting with Kushina accompanying her in the kitchen. He also didn't go for early morning practice, and since morning he has been doing nothing but have a nostalgic talk of the memories they had shared. He hasn't still left, right? Menma and Narumi, like every day, were peeping through window gap over the conversation Naruto and Kushina were having. Yeah, it's way too late yet he doesn't seem to bother. Has he taken a holiday today? Whispered Narumi. He is behaving different today. Suddenly he started talking about how we met, became friends, and the memories we shared like an old uncle, chuckled Menma. Should we go and ask him? Asked Menma, but he was replied with a shook from Narumi. Leave it, we both are late ourselves. Let's go to practice. Soon both of them left the place. Just when Menma was about to open the door he heard a knock on it. As soon as the door was opened both siblings saw a rare guest standing at the doorstep. Oh hi Hinata. Narumi greeted her with a warm smile. Hello. You both. Are you both going somewhere? She questioned. Yeah, for morning practice in the mountain. So, what happened, you are early today? Asked Menma. Hinata released a sigh of relief after she heard that both the siblings would not be here. Now I will be able to ask Naruto out without any tension. Menma and Narumi looked at her with confused face as Menma's question remained unanswered. Hinata then realized that she has been quiet for too long, so with a flustered look she replied, Oh nothing, I just. Where is Naruto? Asked Hinata. Naruto? I thought you were here for us. Hinata, nowadays you are forgetting us because him I am telling you. Complained Menma. Now don't start talking here, Ni-san, we are already late. Hinata, you want Naruto, right? He is in the kitchen, said Narumi as she quickly stepped out dragging Menma with her. Thank you for the help, Naruto. You can go take rest now, I will arrange these dishes to their place, said Kushina. Naruto insisted to let him help her doing it, but in the end he had to admit the defeat as he started walking out of the kitchen. Just when he reached the end of the kitchen he saw Hinata walking his way. Hey Hinata, greeted Naruto, to which he was replied with same emotions. Both of them remained quiet, waiting for either of them to break the silence. Getting suffocated by the awkward silence, it was Naruto who initiated. Is there a problem, Hinata? You are early today. Naruto noticed a pinkish shade on her cheeks as she struggled to make an eye contact with him. Naruto, there is something I wanted to ask you, said Hinata. What is it? Will you go out with me? Hinata was now all red as she tried her best to ask him. Naruto on other hand couldn't understand her, so he asked, go out with you? Where, Hinata? Go out for ddd. Hinata was feeling so embarrassed as she struggled to say the word that she wanted kill herself. Ddd date. A moment of silence was shared between two of them. It took a little time for Naruto to register in his mind what was said to him just now. And as soon as he realized what she just said, a pinkish shade enveloped his whole face. DD date? You don't want to go? Hinata slowly murmured with a sad face. Yes, I want to. I would like to. Before Naruto could speak he was hit on his back playfully by Kushina. Congratulations Naruto, she said. Kushina-san, you were here too? I thought he was alone. Said Hinata. And you thought you would ask him for date secretly, huh? Teased Kushina. So Naruto, what is your answer? Asked Kushina. Hinata keenly looked at Naruto for his answer. Yes, I will go, replied Naruto with smile. Hinata wanted to jump in happiness after she heard it, but she did her best to act composed in front of them. Can we go right now itself? Asked Naruto. This caught Hinata off guard. It was like he stole the question right from her mind. She softly nodded in reply. Okay, let's go. Naruto started to walk, but he was stopped by Kushina. Idiot, you are going on a date, at least wear something nice and get yourself ready. Hinata, he will be there to pick you from you home in 10 minutes, okay? Oh okay Kushina-san. With this Hinata walked out of the house as she bid her byes. As soon as the door was closed, Hinata couldn't suppress her happiness anymore as she ran off to her place as fast as she could. I did it. I can't believe I asked him for a date. This is finally happening. She kept saying this to her the whole way to her home. 15 minutes later, at Hyuga House, Naruto was standing before the door of the huge Hyuga house with all tips from Kushina swirling in his head. One could say his outfit was perfect only if he weren't carrying a sword with him, for which he was even scolded by Kushina. You are going to take this sword on your date too? Was what she said. Among all the several tips and information Kushina gave to Naruto about date, there was one special thing that got plastered in his mind. Listen Naruto, if your date goes perfect, then it might end up in a kiss. KKKSS, Naruto murmured as he gulped at the word. Taking a good look at himself, Naruto took a deep breath and knocked on the door. Soon his knock was answered by a rather familiar girl. Oh hi Hanabi, how are you? Fine enough with your formalities, I know for whom you are here for. Wait, let me bring her. Hanabi then rushed inside the house. She is quite smart. Sweat dropped Naruto as he waited for Hinata to arrive. Soon Naruto's wait came to an end as Hinata walked to the door. When Naruto saw her, his eyes froze. It was like they have been glued on her. The elegant lavender-colored knee-length frock, which had attention to its every detail. The way she had tied her hairs in a long ponytail that extended till her buttocks. Without even realizing, Naruto was shamelessly staring at her from up to down. Beautiful, Naruto couldn't help but say that, even though he didn't intended to say it loud. Hinata looked away with a blush evident on her face as she heard what Naruto said. Coughs, are you both just going to stand here forever? Said Hanabi, finally snapping out Naruto from his trance. Oh why yeah, let's go, said Naruto with a flustered look. Konoha Market. First thing you do on a date is go shopping with her. Buy some memorable gifts for her which would always remind her of today's day. Following what Kushina instructed him, Naruto took Hinata for shopping. Every villager's eyes were on the pair, who were walking close to each other. The sight of Princess of Hyuga, the next heir of Hyuga, walking so close to an ordinary worker at a ramen shop was what they couldn't believe. Though so many pair of eyes were glued on both of them, Naruto was busy in his own search of memorable item as he looked around the market in search of something befitting the word. Soon his eyes met a specific stall which had some girly items. Hinata, let's go there. As they reached the shop, Naruto's eyes widened in amazement as he looked at the variety of items that were there. There are so many things that I am confused. Hinata, what do you like from these? Hinata pointed a finger at herself, asking that if he was asking her, to which Naruto nodded. Looking at the items, Hinata realized that she actually has most of the things that were in the shop. Waiting for Hinata's answer, Naruto just casually looked around the shop when his eyes fell on a small box which had a small beautiful lavender flower hairpin in it. I have never seen her wearing any hairpin. And this one also matches her hair color. A smile plastered on Naruto's face as he pictured Hinata wearing the hairpin. At that very moment he decided to buy that clip. For him, that small hairpin was the best item in the shop. And their date just continued for hours. Their journey from shopping to lunch was filled with a lot of talks and laughs. They also visited a lot of places together and made sure this day to be forever remembered in their heart. After finishing everything, Naruto was now walking Hinata to her house. Again, another instruction given by Kushina to him. Hinata was on top of cloud 9 as she was having the perfect day she always dreamed of, whereas there was Naruto, who seemed rather worried. I never thought that the date will go so long. I am running out of time and am already late. According to Ghost, today is the day. Naruto had a serious look over his face. Hinata, who was walking next to him, didn't notice the worried face Naruto had as she was busy in her own thoughts. We are almost near my home. I can't give him this love letter in front of my house. What should I do? What should I do? Just then an idea sparked in her mind. Naruto, there is one more place I wanted to go to. This is the last one. Can we go please? One more place? Thought Naruto, well aware of the fact that he was late. But how could he say no to a request made with such a cute face? He simply nodded, and soon they started walking to the place Hinata suggested. While on the way, Naruto would always glance at Hinata's hands, which he wanted to hold so desperately. To be honest, he has been trying to do it on the whole date but he could never muster the courage. You won't get another chance, Naruto. This is your last day. Just do it. Talking to himself, Naruto finally initiated the action and held Hinata's hand. Hinata was caught completely off guard by sudden action of Naruto as she looked at Naruto, who was looking straight forward at the path, trying to hide his blush. Hinata softly chuckled at his antics as she accepted his hand. Both of their hearts were racing like never before. The feelings they passed to each other just by the simple act of holding the hands were enough to tell each other how they felt. Konoha Forest. Soon both of them reached to the destination. Hinata finally released her hand and walked in front of Naruto, facing him. This is the place where Sasuke and Sakura came together, right? Said Naruto. Yeah, this is the place where they confessed their feelings. Naruto, I have something to give you, said Hinata as she pulled out a letter from her pocket. Please open it once you reach home. She then placed the letter in Naruto's hands, which he gladly accepted. Naruto could see where this was going. The heart shape on the cover of the letter and furiously blushing Hinata was enough evidence for Naruto to understand what it was. A love letter, huh? It is already too late, Hinata. Sorry, but I don't deserve it, thought Naruto with a sad smile. Soon his thoughts were interrupted by a sudden movement in leaves. They both looked around but found no one. Who is there? Asked Hinata, but she received no response. She felt something was wrong. If it were their friends, then they would have showed up after realizing that they got caught, but no one answered her. Byakugan. Hinata activated her dujutsu and looked around her. Soon her eyes widened in fear as she saw someone. She slowly stepped backwards, taking her fighting stance. Naruto, it's someone from Akatsuki. I will try to hold him. You go and inform the substitute Hokage. How do they pass through the security barrier? Hinata was cut off between by Naruto before she could say further. Hinata. Naruto wanted to say something but he couldn't say it. Hinata was confused by Naruto's body language as he didn't seem to be so shocked about the fact that there is a Akatsuki member here. Hinata, I joined Akatsuki. Hinata couldn't believe what she just heard. Her eyes went wide than ever. Shock clearly visible in her eyes. What are you saying? Before she could say further, she was knocked cold by someone from behind by a hit on her nape. Naruto grabbed Hinata before she could fall and gently placed her on the ground. You didn't have to do that, said Naruto. There was no other choice, she already found us, said the person in black Akatsuki cloak. So you are the key, huh? Naruto. I am Hidan. Welcome to the Akatsuki. Evening time. In Hyuga House. The unconscious Hinata was found in the forest by some villagers who were set to collect woods. Soon the case was reported to Substitute Hokage and Hinata was carried back to her home to take rest until she wakes up. Right now her room was filled with Hyugas, Substitute Hokage, her friends and other important shinobis. Due to the incidents happening past few weeks, even this case was being connected to Akatsuki. Hinata, I joined Akatsuki. Naruto. With a scream of his name, Hinata suddenly shot up from her bed covered in sweat. This took the attention of everyone in the room as they gathered around her. Hinata, are you okay? Who did this to you? With a worried tone, Hiyashi caught Hinata's hand. Hinata looked around her to see herself on the bed surrounded by her friends and number of other shinobis. Why am I on the bed? Why are so many people gathered here? Hinata, I joined Akatsuki. Hinata remembered the frame of memory she had with Naruto before she got unconscious. Naruto. I was on a date with him. Or was it just a dream? San, did you find something around me? A small box or something? Hinata asked to confirm that was she really on a date with him or was it just all a dream? Yeah, there was this thing lying next to you. Looks like hairpins. Looking at the lavender hairpins Naruto had bought for her, Hinata quickly took it in her hands with a smile. No one in the room could understand her behavior. Thank God that it was not a dream. But does that mean Hinata, I joined Akatsuki? Does that mean that it is true? A feared look was clearly visible on Hinata's face, which bothered everyone. Hinata, are you okay? Before Menma could ask her, he was interrupted by Hinata. Menma, where is Naruto? He is not at home. Even I have been searching for him everywhere. What happened to Naruto? Asked Menma. Ka-san said that he was with you. But after hearing your news, even she has been worried. On top of that, he is found nowhere, said Narumi. Hinata was shaking all over with fear after hearing that Naruto is missing. One thing she was sure of was that she definitely encountered an Akatsuki before she was hit unconscious, but those words Naruto said were so clear to her that she couldn't shake off of her mind. "Naruto? I know your group very well and I don't remember someone with this name," said Danzo. "He has recently moved in the village a month ago before the security barriers were placed. A lot of things happened after that and we all became his friends," replied Neji. "Before security barriers were installed, huh?" murmured Danzo to himself. "Hinata, please tell us what all things happened before you went unconscious," he continued. Everyone's eyes were fixed on Hinata for the Amzor. She was having a great conflict in her mind. She didn't want to say what Naruto told her, but as a shinobi it was her duty to inform everyone about the events occurred. "I was on a date with Naruto," she continued, which plastered a smile on her friends while her father reacted with wide eyes. "We had a lot of fun and he even bought me this hairpins. The incident occurred when I was walking with him in the Konoha forest. Just when we walked a little further we were attacked by an Akatsuki member." Hinata's words changed the atmosphere of the room. "An Akatsuki member? Are you sure it was only one person? Did you see him?" asked Itachi. "Yes, I remember very well. He was wearing Akatsuki cloak and wielded a scythe. What happened after you spotted him? He attacked you?" asked Shikamaru. "Yeah, I informed Naruto about his presence but he showed no response. I asked him what was wrong and his next words." Hinata placed her hands over her mouth as she couldn't say further. "What did he say, Hinata?" asked Menma. He said that he has joined Akatsuki. Those were the last words I heard before I was knocked out." The whole group's eyes were filled with shock. They couldn't believe her words. Their dear friend with whom they had shared so many memorable events is an Akatsuki member. They couldn't even think that in their wildest dreams. Moreover, they didn't want to believe it. Maybe you heard something wrong, Hinata." "TT, that's not possible." The impact of shock was clearly seen in Narumi's tone. "Yeah, maybe he is being pressurized by them. There must be something he couldn't say to us," said Hinata, trying to defend Naruto's actions. "This guy Naruto. Where has he been living?" asked Danzo. "In Menma's house. Kushina-san said him to live in their house until he gets settled," replied Sasuke. The room went completely silent as everyone tried to understand the situation. Only thing audible was Danzo's soft laughs. "Let me guess. You guys don't even know his past and his full name, do you?" Everyone in the group looked at each other in surprise as they nodded to Danzo's question. "He said he can't remember about his past," said Sakura. Now all dots are connecting. An unknown person who moves to the village right before the barriers were installed, with half-name, who hides his past by saying that he can't remember it. Also the one who has been living closest to Minato. There is no doubt. Naruto is the ghost. Danzo's words enveloped the room with an awkward silence before Hinata broke it. No, Naruto can't be the ghost. When he arrived in the village he was almost about to pass out. If it wasn't me that day walking around the borders, then he would have definitely died that day. If he was a spy he wouldn't take such foolish risk. You are taking it too extreme, Danzo-sama, defended Hinata, to which everyone agreed. It was not a foolish risk, it is called well-calculated risk. He knew that your group, the Konoha 13, was the group with most trusted and powerful shinobis. The group which consists heirs of every powerful clan. What would be better for a spy than being friends with such group? He made you all friends and established an emotional connect with you so that you would always trust him, just like you all are doing right now." As Danzo spoke further, their eyes were slowly being engulfed by insecurity. They mentally rejected everything Danzo was saying, but his words were too accurate to be ignored. "He has been with us for a month. We know him very well," said Neji. "Yeah, he is kind and polite. I have never seen him angry even once. To think he was the ghost. We just can't conclude that just because he is missing," said Ino. Everyone in the group said something or other in defense of Naruto, but elders in the room just didn't seem to be convinced. Menma was the only one from the group who didn't say anything. He was already suspicious about Naruto for a long time, and this talk was making it stronger. He decided to remain quiet and see where this conversation goes. "You all are telling how good this boy Naruto was. But it doesn't change the fact that he was the one who said Hinata that he is in Akatsuki." Fugaku's words shut everyone's mouth as they didn't have anything to counter that. "I know it's hard for you all to suddenly accept it. But," before Danzo could say further he was interrupted by Menma. "We will hear you." You must have something concrete to support it. To be honest, I don't completely deny the possibility of him being the ghost. Ever since the attack on Tu-san he has been acting strange. I already knew he is too strong to be just a cook at a ramen shop. It would not faze me if he is an Akatsuki member. Everyone present there could understand the seriousness in his tone. Menma was known for his strong intuition and observation. He being suspicious about Naruto meant that there is something wrong. A spy must do everything to complete the mission even if he had to play with the feelings and emotions of the people. He must not let his emotions interfere his mission, even if it costs others feelings in process. It is a simple rule which every spy in Anbu follows. And Naruto did the same thing with you, Hinata. Not only you but every one of you, continued Danzo as he pointed at the group who were having a mental breakdown. You are an innocent soul, Hinata. He made you fall for him to gain the greater trust. And you are not the only one. Kushina is also a very simple and innocent lady. She must have allowed Naruto to live in her house looking at his poor condition. He played a clever move to get right inside Minato's house. The room went silent again after Danzo stopped speaking. Danzo's words were slowly starting to enlighten them. They were slowly believing his words. Neji was the first one to speak from the group. Now that I think about it, Menma, Sasuke, Ino, Sakura and Kiba. Do you all remember that day when we told him that the barriers were being installed? And the Akatsuki attacked the very same day. Yeah, even I was thinking about the same thing. He must have relayed the info to Akatsuki so they attacked right before the barriers were placed. Said Kiba. That can be a coincidence. Are you all really believing that Naruto has been betraying us? Said Hinata, but she was interrupted by Narumi. Recently he has been asking too much about Akatsuki. That day when Tu-san was attacked he even defended Akatsuki saying that they saved them. Right, Menma ni-san, said Narumi, to which Menma nodded in agreement. This shocked everyone present there. Saved them? How can someone say that about Akatsuki? Was what they thought. I knew something was wrong with him. His power was on par with us. And I used to always think, why does a cook needs to go through such rigorous training? But there is still one thing that bothers me. That day if he was a spy, then why did he put his life on the line to save Tu-san? Asked Menma. Maybe Naruto's was never meant to save him, continued Itachi as everyone's eyes widened. Maybe Naruto's mission was to kill Minato-sama instead. He was the only one present there, so it is easy for him to manipulate the scene. Our shinobis have seen Akatsuki members near the scene, but they escaped after our reinforcement got closer. Akatsuki must have planned to kill Minato-sama, but they underestimated him, which resulted in total failure of their plan. They didn't expected him to single-handedly defeat so many of them. The mission must have been a silent one, but it instead attracted too much attention. Naruto understood that there was no way he could win, so he instead played the victim card. You see, Minato-sama suffered such terrible injuries that he can't even infuse chakra, and it would take him months or years to recover, while Naruto, he recovered in mere hours. Don't you think it's suspicious? After hearing Itachi's long and sensible explanation, the group was filled with tears of anger. Though this is just a theory, but the number of coincidences are too much for it to be actually coincidence. First, he arrived in the village just before security barrier. Second, Akatsuki attacks right after Naruto learns about security barriers being placed. Third, Naruto is the only person who is present at the scene when Minato was attacked. He also tries to make a good picture of Akatsuki by saying that they saved them. If he has done it once, then I bet he will secretly try to contact you and tell you his false side, but you all must not believe it. Said Danzo. Is this how he repays the love Tu-san and Ka-san showed to him? Ka-san would treat him no less than her own son, yet every time he would accompany her in kitchen or her other works to just gain her trust? Just imagining how he behaved like a good boy with her makes me to burst open his head. Said Menma, clenching his fists. All those laughs and memories were fake? Is his heart made up of stone? Murmured Sasuke. I will pay him for everything he has done. If he does something as stupid as making contact with us, then he is done, said Neji. Hinata was left with no words to defend Naruto. Even now she believed in him, but she knew that no words can help him. There was no way she could calm down this bunch of angry shinobis who were crying for revenge. In Akatsuki hideout, two tall figures walked down a dark cave which was barely lit with torches along the pathway. One of them wielded a long scythe while the other had a sword hanging on his back. These two people were none other than Hidan and Naruto. Soon both of them reached a place where a huge humanoid statue with its few eyes open was placed. "Come Hidan and Naruto, you two are late," said a redhead shinobi who had purple eyes with rippled pattern. Soon Naruto saw two more people around him. He remembered the blue-haired lady who was with Nagato that day, but the other person who had a huge sword at his back and shark-like face was new to him. Blame this guy for being late. After he knocked out his girl, he hid there the whole time until someone came to help her. Hidan said as he pointed at Naruto. "Of course. How can I let her alone in middle of the forest and leave?" replied Naruto. "I didn't expected you to join Akatsuki so easily," said Nagato, interrupting the quarrel between Naruto and Hidan. Naruto smirked at the question as he said, "Well, it's a long story. Long ago Nine Tails told a story of Madara Uchiha. Everyone's eyes widened as they heard Madara's name. He told me that Madara's objective was indeed to save the world, and for the same reason he created Akatsuki. I believe Kurama's words more than anyone, so that's when I decided to join Akatsuki. I understood that it is not an evil group." "Oh, I see. It's first time that someone understood us," said Nagato with a smile. "But, I want to know about history of Akatsuki. Who created it and what is its aim? More importantly, why are you all targeting chakra scrolls and killing substitute cages of other nations?" Hearing Naruto's question, Nagato looked at his comrades who nodded in approval. "Fine. Now that you are one of us, I shall explain you everything. Akatsuki was created more than a decade ago. But as you said, it was not Madara Uchiha who created this group but his ideals. The one who inherited his ideals and creator of this group was Obito Uchiha. For a long period of time Obito was the only one in the group, as everyone said it was a terrorist group. He did his best to inform the world about incoming danger, but no one believed him, not even us. By the time our stupid mind understood that Obito was correct, it was already too late. He was killed by the enemies who didn't want Obito to spill the truth. In his dying moment he said only two things: Danzo and the Naka Shrine. We understood that one who killed him was Danzo, but we couldn't get anything about Naka Shrine. After a lot of research we found that our objective, the objective for which Obito created this group, was written on a stone tablet of that shrine, and only Rinnegan could totally decipher it, while Mangekyo Sharingan could partially decipher it. Last month we attacked Konoha at Naka Shrine to obtain our objective. After years of aimlessly wandering with the name of Akatsuki, we had finally found our aim." "What is our aim then?" asked Naruto. "Our aim is to get the chakra of all tailed beasts and lock it in this statue that you can see behind me. This statue is called Gedo statue. Only me, the possessor of Rinnegan, can summon and use it. The most important chakra that we need to lock in it is the Nine Tails chakra. Our enemy is someone you know. It's none other than your substitute Hokage, Danzo." Naruto's eyes were filled with shock and fear as he heard the name. He could never even imagine that the enemy is someone the whole village trusts. Danzo?" asked Naruto, to which Nagato nodded. "Danzo is a very clever bastard. He has total trust of every shinobi in the village and especially Uchihas. It's because Danzo was the one who informed Hashirama-sama about Madara's plan to massacre his clan. Since then the Uchihas have always respected and obeyed him blindly. And since that time he has been using Akatsuki's name in his every ill work. He would do all the killing and lump that crime on our name. We tried our best to clear our name, but by that time our group was already established as terrorist group, so we just gave up. Even the attack on Minato-sama the other day was his plan so that he could be the Hokage and lump it on our name. But fortunately Minato-sama survived thanks to you. You are the key Naruto, the savior of this world. That's the other thing written on the stone tablet. The only one who possessed Nine Tails chakra can save the world." After a long explanation by Nagato, Naruto had no doubts in him. Everything was as clear as day for him. There was just one thing which bothered Naruto. "Nagato-san, from what I know there were 9 members in Akatsuki. But there are only 4 of you, what happened to others?" Naruto's question plastered a sad expression on everyone's face. His question remained unanswered for a moment. Naruto was not feeling good about it. He felt as if he asked a very sensitive question. Just when he was about to say something he was answered by Nagato, "All others are dead." You can say that I was the one who killed them. Nagato, I told you not to blame yourself for that, interrupted Konan. Naruto couldn't understand a thing of what he said. I didn't get you, Nagato-san. Years and years ago tailed beasts disappeared, turning their chakra into chakra scrolls. The reason they did this was so that no one could access their chakra. The only way to access it is through a method called Jinchuriki extraction. First the scroll is placed in the chakra core of a person and then the chakra is extracted, resulting in death of the person. This was new for Naruto. He understood that it was nothing but self-sacrifice. Don't tell me, did you? There was no other option, interrupted Nagato, there was no other option. Every day when we retrieved a chakra scroll meant the day one of us would die. That's why I said, this is beginning of our success and also beginning of our end. Since I am the only one who can lock the extracted chakra in the Gedo statue, I was the one who performed Jinchuriki extraction on them. Tears slipped out of eyes as he remembered his comrades, but he wiped them before anyone could notice. Does that mean you are the only one who can perform this technique? Asked Naruto, to which Nagato shook his head. Few powerful shinobis do know how to perform this technique. Even Danzo knows. I am the only one who has the power to completely imprison the chakra in this statue. No one but me or the people I have granted permission can access it. That's why. Our mission is to get all the chakra scrolls and lock them in this Gedo statue. There was a hint of command and determination in Nagato's last words. He wouldn't allow anyone to make his friend's sacrifice go in vain. It means in the end every one of us will die eventually. What a tough fate. Said Naruto with a sad smile. But wait. According to you I am the key because I have 9 tails chakra, continued Naruto, to which Nagato nodded in agreement. But I have heard that Konoha has a 9 tails chakra scroll. What Naruto said blew their mind in shock. Everyone looked at their leader for explanation, but he himself was looking at Naruto with wide eyes. What? Nagato's tone was higher than ever, which indicated just how shocked he was. How can Konoha have a 9 tails chakra scroll when you have his chakra in you? I have seen it that day. You undoubtedly have 9 tails chakra. Let me just check. Nagato activated his Rinnegan and looked at Naruto's chakra pool. As he looked at his chakra pool he started to sweat in fear. You do have 9 tails chakra. But it's just half of it. Even though he just murmured to himself, the cave was silent enough for everyone to hear. Half? Questioned Konan. Yeah, 9 tails chakra is way more than this. There can be only one explanation for this. If what you are saying is true, Naruto, then I guess 9 tails chakra was divided into 2 before he disappeared. Yin and yang. You must be having one part of it while Danzo has the other. To think even Ghost didn't know about this. Must be a very secret intel. Said Nagato. I lived at Minato-sama's house with his family, so maybe he by mistake spilled it. Feels really bad telling his secret out, but that doesn't matter now. Said Naruto. It actually doesn't. We have received the news from Ghost that Danzo has already titled you as the Ghost. He must have done that so that your friends do not trust you. But that actually helped us. While the Konoha mistakes you as the Ghost, a real ghost will play safe inside the village. Since Danzo has pictured you as the Ghost, no one will suspect him. Laughed Nagato at Danzo's foolishness. Nagato-san, I have a request. Continued Naruto. Will you please let me meet my friends? I can explain the situation to them, they will understand. Nagato interrupted Naruto before he could say further. Ghost has told me that your friends have believed Danzo and are ready for you to contact them, so that they could capture you. Naruto's head went down as he heard Nagato's words. Even though it was tough for him, he knew that this might happen. He knew how big of a grudge his friends held for Akatsuki, to the point that they would hear no word. Even Naruto had tried several times to explain them that Akatsuki was not what they think, but they heard nothing. Even if they would not believe me, there are 2 people who will always believe in me. Kushina-san and Hinata. Forget about Kushina-san. After she was kidnapped, the security there has increased a lot. There is no way you can meet her in private. And talking about Hinata, I have seen friendship of years and decades break just because of the name Akatsuki. I am myself an example. Do you think your friendship of just a month is strong enough? Asked Nagato. It's not friendship, Nagato. That girl is his girlfriend, interrupted Hidan, hearing which Naruto got flustered. She is not my girlfriend. Well, I have seen her giving you the love letter, so no need to lie. said Hidan as he pointed at the letter in Naruto's pocket. Oh, I see. Then that's a different case than friendship, isn't it? We can give it a try. Conan looked at Nagato with request in her eyes. Well, if you say so, Conan, then I allow him. But you will not go yourself. Make a shadow clone or you won't go. Naruto nodded at Nagato's demand. I will ask Ghost to deliver your message to Hinata that you want to meet. Remember, Naruto. For now, Konoha and the world thinks that you are the ghost. So if plan goes south and you meet anyone other than Hinata, then you must not spill a thing about Akatsuki. Moreover, if they ask you your identity, then you will say that you were the ghost. It will cost your friendship, but that's a sacrifice you must make. At Konohagakure. Nighttime. Konoha Hospital. No way. I don't believe that. Naruto said he is in Akatsuki now. And you all think he was the ghost. Are you both in your right mind? Scolded Kushina as she was told about the discussion they had today. After Menma and Narumi explained it, Minato and Kushina were left stunned and shocked. Minato, who was on the bed recovering from his injuries, couldn't take the fact that Naruto was the one who planned to kidnap his wife. It's not like we are happy to say this about him, Ka-san. But that's how it is. He himself said to Hinata that he is in Akatsuki. Moreover, the way he behaved today. Talking about memories and all. He also left his job at Ichiraku Ramen. That means he had everything planned already. Said Narumi. Whatever Danzo-sama and Itachi said has no flaws in it. There is no denying that possibility of Naruto being the ghost is very high. So high that I am sure that is him. Said Minato. Kushina was surprised that even Minato accepts that Naruto was the ghost. She quickly asked Menma and Narumi to leave the room so that she could discuss it with Minato alone. Minato, what are you saying? You really think that our son would do that? He is not our son, Kushina. Minato's voice escalated at her in anger, but he soon regretted it. Kushina was shocked at Minato's behavior. For the first time she had seen Minato talk to her in such loud voice or to ever scold her. She took a seat on the chair next to Minato's bed as tears trailed down her eyes. I am sorry, Kushina, I shouldn't have scolded you. It's just that whenever you talk about Naruto, I remember of the day he slipped out of my hands. The anger I hold on myself to let him slip out of my hands gets unloaded onto something or other. I am really sorry. You still don't believe that he is our son? Asked Kushina, to which he replied with a number. I thought that when he will start living with us you will accept that he is our Naruto. Even after living together for a month your heart says nothing, huh? Well, I don't care about that, continued Kushina as she stood from her seat. Even if you don't believe he will always be my Naruto, no matter what the world says. I will always support him, she said as she left the room, leaving Minato alone on the bed. Sorry, Kushina, but my heart says nothing. But only for you I still want to believe in him. I don't want to believe that he is the ghost, but if he himself confesses that he was the ghost, then for playing with everyone's emotions, for betraying the people who trusted him, for betraying the village and for making a joke of your feelings, I will finish him with my own hands. Next day, at Hyuga House, morning time, it was very difficult for Hinata to sleep the last day after all the thoughts going on in her mind. She was a strong-willed girl, but yesterday was the day she cried the most. Where would he be right now, what he might be doing, if he is safe or not, why did he join Akatsuki, he is not the ghost, right? All the thoughts swirling around her head, and the only one who could answer her was Naruto. She desperately wanted to meet him and wanted to ask it herself. Just when she was busy in her thoughts, she heard a knock on the door. She walked to the door and answered it, but was quite confused when she found no one at the door. She looked around for the person and then she noticed a piece of paper lying on the ground. She picked it up and the words written on it made her eyes wider than ever. It's me, Naruto. Meet me at the forest in the evening and don't tell it to anyone. Soon as she read it, the paper disappeared from her eyes as it was snatched by someone. Hinata turned around to look at who it was and her heart skipped a beat in fear looking at the person standing in front of her, Neji Ni-san. Oh, so he has finally made the contact, huh? Evening time, Konoha Forest. It was a burning evening, sunset painted the atmosphere with orange-blue shade. Wind was unusually wild today, which blew fallen leaves over distances. As the insecurity among the villagers grew, the cheerful village of Konoha got covered in silence as if that of an abandoned place. With a dead silence covering the group of boys, Menma, Sasuke, Neji, Kiba, Shikamaru, Choji and Lee stood in the woods waiting for a certain someone to show up. Soon a gust of wind blew carrying a particular smell along with it, to which Akamaru reacted with a bark. Yeah, Akamaru. There is no doubt, it's his smell. Guys, he is coming. The group looked at the direction Kiba pointed as their eyes met a tall blonde who wielded a sword at his back wearing an Akatsuki cloak walking towards them through the dance of petals which blew around him due to wind. Soon the person came close enough to the group, revealing it to be their friend Naruto. No words were spoken, yet lot of things were said just by a look in each other's eyes. You are looking good in that cloak. Naruto could see the sarcasm and hint of taunt in Sasuke's words. The eyes of his friends darted at him with cold gaze which held anger could be easily felt. It was his first time seeing them like this, as if a pack of wolves were ready to hunt and tear down their prey. It turned out just as Nagato-san said. Contacting Hinata is as difficult as Kushina-san. There is no point in convincing them or trying to put my front. They just won't believe. Naruto knew that convincing his way out was no option. They were no longer his same cheerful friends but bunch of misleaded, anger-blinded shinobis who want to get their hands on Akatsuki. And Akatsuki was Naruto's home now. So he turned the same cold gaze and expression towards them as he said, "Calm down, Sasuke, there is no need to dart your Sharingan at me, I am not here to fight. Moreover, I had asked Hinata only to meet me." "What did you say?" Neji dashed at Naruto but was stopped by Menma. "Wait, Neji. There is just one question I want you to answer, Naruto. Are you the ghost? Or are you being pressurized by Akatsuki?" Everyone looked at Naruto with same question in their eyes. All they wanted was to hear it from himself. If they ask you your identity, then you will say that you were the ghost. It will cost your friendship, but that's a sacrifice you must make. Nagato's words ringed in his mind, to which he smiled inwardly. Yeah, I am the ghost. And I joined Akatsuki Bekusu of my personal interests. I am not being pressurized by anyone. The group clenched their fist at his answer. They were angry without a doubt, but more importantly they felt hurt and betrayed. Sometimes the enemy is right in front of you but you can't see him. And before you figure it out, a lot of damage is inflicted. Asuma once said this. "It fits perfect in your case," said Shikamaru, to which Naruto reacted with a laugh. "That's true. Sometimes the enemy is right in front of you. I am just wondering how much time it will take you to see him." "What are you saying?" asked Kiba, but instead of answering him, Naruto continued, "I heard Danzo is the new Hokage now. It seems the village trusts him a lot." The group remained silent as they couldn't understand Naruto's sudden change of topic. Anger is the biggest enemy of a human being. It gives rise to feeling like revenge, and when one acts under that feeling, he destroys not only himself but everything around him. That's the time when he becomes the biggest enemy of peace. My mentor once said this to me. "It fits perfect on you all." "That doesn't mean anything coming out of your mouth, Naruto," said Menma. It will make meaning one day. That day you will regret your actions. By then I won't be there with you. I hope you will be able to recover yourself when truth strikes you. It's time for me to go. I was here for Hinata only." Soon Naruto tried to walk off, but he found his whole body unmovable. "You thought you would simply walk away from here, huh?" said Shikamaru. Naruto then noticed that he was under Shikamaru's shadow possession jutsu as his legs were entangled by his shadow. "Leave him, Shikamaru." Sasuke's words confused everyone as they looked at him with questioned look. "I was fooled by him once but not again. It's his shadow clone." Naruto and Sasuke shared a smirk at each other. Naruto smirked as he acknowledged Sasuke's observation, while Sasuke smirked as he proved Naruto that his shadow clone won't work on him. "I see. So that's the power of the Sharingan. Scary." Naruto then made a hand sign as he disappeared with a pop, leaving a stunned group of shinobis. Now they had no conflict, doubts or questions in their mind, as their one single question was answered. Naruto was the ghost. Akatsuki hideout. Everyone looked at Naruto, who was sitting on a rock with a fallen face, as they understood what has happened. "So, looks like things didn't go right," said Nagato as he sat beside him. Hinata was not there. It was Menma and others. "And of course they were all set to capture me." "Things went exactly as you said," he replied. "Leave it now. We need to focus on our mission. We need to get the 5 Tails Chakra Scroll, which is at Sanagakure. Naruto and Crow will be going. Crow will meet you on the way," said Nagato, to which Naruto nodded in agreement. At Konohagakure. Nighttime. Konoha Hospital. It was that time of day when everyone was asleep in the village, concluding their day with a dream. Yet there was this one person with a mask covering his face and a headband which hid one of his eyes, who couldn't find to sleep as he walked the passageway of the hospital, finding a particular room. He then took a right turn at the end of the passage as he opened the door to enter a room. Room No. 03 Rin Nohara. Kakashi, who was the visitor of the patient, quietly grabbed a chair and sat close to the bed. Looking at the face of the lady, a soft smile was plastered on his face as he remembered his childhood days. His squad, with whom he completed so many missions, traveling to different villages, showing off their talent to their sensei, were his best days. His smile then disappeared as he remembered the third member of their squad. Obito Uchiha. Do you know Rin? A few days ago Naka Shrine was attacked by Akatsuki. In the fight we encountered a masked man with Sharingan eye, just one eye. We think that it's Obito. But how could that be possible? I killed him with my own hand. Kakashi then looked at his shaking hands. I killed him with these two hands of mine. His blood covering them. I still remember that day. Flashback. Weather wasn't good that day. Thunder strikes, strong cutter winds and high-velocity rain displayed total terror in atmosphere. On a vast plain land there stood two shinobis. One was in Akatsuki cloak while the other wore an Anbu outfit. Ever since Rin has gone into coma you went missing. You never even showed to check on her in the hospital, and the next thing we learn is that you have found a terrorist group called Akatsuki. What's going on, Obito? Asked Kakashi. Rin is in coma? Obito, who was unaware of this, was shocked after he heard the news. So you don't know it, huh? Where have you been last few days? Kakashi's question remained unanswered as Obito looked straight into his eyes. You won't understand, Kakashi. The danger coming upon us in the future. It's all written in the Naka Shrine. Kakashi couldn't understand a thing he was saying, but he decided to ignore it as he proceeded with his words. You have been titled wanted, you know that? And I am ordered to kill you. I see. You are someone who follows every rule and order, right? So, you are here to kill me? Smirked Obito. Don't joke, Obito. I am taking you with me. Even if I have to beat you to pulp or break your bones. Both looked at each other with serious eyes as they glared their Mangekyo Sharingan at each other. And within a blink of an eye the battle began. This was not just a simple spar which they both had with each other for years, but a blood-to-blood battle. It continued for more than half an hour until both of them had almost drained out their chakra. Weakly standing on their shaking legs, covered in scars and blood, one could tell just by a look that whatever was going to happen next were going to be their final moves. Even their Sharingan was deactivated from Mangekyo to 3 Tomo due to lack of chakra. Kakashi, do you have any backup? Because after defeating you I am not going to take you to the village hospital, chuckled Obito weakly. As confident as always, huh? But this time I will be the one defeating and taking you back to the village. Kakashi used all the reserved chakra left and activated his Sharingan, Chidori. Obito pulled out the knives from his pocket and threw them at him. Kakashi swiftly cut through all of them and dashed straight towards Obito. Kaden. Gokakyu no Jutsu. Obito fired a beam of flames at Kakashi to stop him, but he was just too fast as he swiftly dodged it. And before Obito could do his next attack, Kakashi suddenly appeared right in front of him. Kakashi then launched his lightning punch, Chidori, at Obito, and to counter it Obito decided to tackle it with his own flame punch. It was the battle of speed as their punches closed at each other with extreme speed. The one who connects first was going to be inevitable winner of this fight. Just then Obito's legs gave up as he slipped, causing his upper body to twist. Kakashi's eyes widened at this as the Chidori which he had first aimed at his stomach was now heading straight to his heart. Oh no. Obito, move fast. Kakashi screamed in his mind as there was nothing he could do. Kakashi's punch was so close that with a normal eye you could say that he had definitely hit him. With a strong bone-cracking sound, Kakashi's Chidori hit Obito hard, creating a hole straight through his chest. Oh, Obito! With a scream of his name, Kakashi pulled out his punch, which was totally covered in red with his friend's blood dripping down his hand. His mind went blank after he saw the condition of his friend. He couldn't think of anything as the blood coming out from Obito's chest and mouth haunted him. Everything is so blurry. My ears have gone numb. Did Kakashi really intended to kill me? No, he will never do that. It's because of I slipped that he hit me on my vital spot. That was a close battle. Only if I could ask for a rematch like I used to do in a duel. Obito, Obito, I can hear faint sound of my name. Is Kakashi still here? Obito found himself lying on the ground while his upper body was gently on Kakashi's arms. What have I done? I didn't intend to hit you on the chest, Obito, I swear. How did this happen? Kakashi's tears fell on Obito's face, but soon his eyes widened as he heard some noises coming from the other direction. When he turned to look at that direction, he saw few shinobis coming at his way. Is someone coming? Asked Obito in a weak voice. A red-haired ninja whose hairs covered his eyes, a blue-haired girl and a spiky orange-haired shinobi. Kakashi described the only spottable appearance of shinobis who were still a mile away from them. Oh, it seems Yahiko, Nagato and Konan is here. Why are they here? Obito asked himself. Hold yourself, Obito. I will take you to the Konoha hospital. Tsunade-sama will surely heal you. Obito laughed at Kakashi's words as he said, You are still fixated on taking me to the village, huh, Kakashi? I won't be able to survive longer than a minute. Just leave me here, said Obito. Just leave you here? Absolutely not. Before Kakashi could say further, he was interrupted by his friend. Please, Kakashi. It's my last request. Kakashi couldn't stop the tears flowing out of his eyes. Seeing his best friend dying in front of him and being so helpless. Leave before they come, whispered Obito. His gradual lowering of voice tone indicated that he was at his end. Kakashi gently kept Obito's head on the ground and stood up. He had a last glance at his friend and started to walk away, but then he heard his friend's last words with a barely audible voice. Kakashi. Take care of Rin. Flashback ended. I never intended to kill him. It was a very terrible accident. But now there is a slight possibility of him being alive. They call him the Crow. If he is alive, then I will do everything in my hand to bring him back. It's my promise, Rin. Kakashi gently grabbed her hand between his palm as he said, This eye was a gift from him. Yet I used it against him. From that day I have never used it. Only you and Obito knew that I am the only other than Madara and Obito to have a Mangekyo Sharingan. His cold face and my hands covered in his blood always haunt me at night. I just can't sleep with those images in my mind. I hope you don't mind if I sleep here next to you. Please wake up soon, Rin. I can't take more of this. With this, Kakashi placed his head on the bed as he surrendered himself to sleep sitting on the chair. THSTA all for now. If you enjoy, then please like, share and do comments.